Although again, again, there could be some good snacks in the refrigerator. Generally, though, it might be the freezer where you're getting your ice cream. But
Right.
I'm with you. If I'm going for snack, bag of chips, or I met the greatest Girl Scout cookie seller ever on Saturday, which I didn't know they were selling Girl Scout cookies this year in person. I had not seen a Girl Scout anywhere. I'm walking into a place on Saturday. I see her. She, does a very good opening line sales pitch. And then in the middle of it says, call whoever you need to call, get your shopping done, and I'll be here when you walk out. And I thought, all right, well, cool. Very, very, very well done. So I texted the wife and said, hey, Girl Scout cookies, which ones do you want? The Thin Mints and the tag-alongs and whatever. Walk out of the store. And
what do you mean, whatever? What's your favorite?
Thin Mints for me, tag-alongs for Joanna. So, all right, so I know what I'm getting, and I know that I've got to take out a small loan in today's world to buy Girl Scout cookies, right? They're $4 a box, and it appears the boxes are smaller. That's beside the point. Whatever, right? I'm there to support this little, and I love it when the kids actually do the selling, not the parents. Like especially in the office when somebody comes, but bring your kid by, I'll buy whatever. You're selling it? Yeah, maybe not so much. So I'm like, all right, can I get a box of Thin Mints and a box of tag-alongs? And she was like, well, do you want 2 of each? And I was like, sure, why not? Why not? Yeah, why not?
What a smooth slip-in, wow.
It gets better because then I was like, hey, are those new lemon ones any good? She's like, oh, they really are. And, if you're getting 5 boxes, that's an even 20. All right, so I got $20 worth of Girl Scout cookies on Saturday. So I'm pumped. So I know where my snacks are coming from right now.
Well, see, but this is a different thing because I like Thin Mints in the refrigerator. I want my Thin Mints to be cold, not, room temp. So this is the lone time that I would lean towards the refrigerator. Maybe you would as well. But I'm proud to hear that the entrepreneurial spirit within the Alamo City is alive and well in today's youth. It sounds like you got bamboozled, but that you're oddly at peace with it. So
I'm very good with it. I mean, I know, I've got this mental time stamp in my head that the daylight savings, which is coming up in a week, is when I can start walking again at night after the show. And, the weather's going to be nicer. I've kind of gotten out of the habit of doing that, partly because it's dark and it's been cold and I'll have every excuse not to go for my nightly walk. Right. So mentally I'm like, as soon as it's daylight after work, I'm going to go. I've tried getting out of bed early and doing it in the morning. I just can't. It doesn't work for me. Sometimes middle of the day I'll go for a walk, around the neighborhood, but you get busy, there's just no consistency. Back when I was doing a good job with it, off the air at 7 and knock out 3 miles pretty easily. So, I'm looking forward to when the time changes, being able to do that again in the daylight and in nicer weather. So, I've got that mentally is like, all right, I'm going to kick in this. And I just bought 5 boxes of Girl Scout cookies. So, I mean, my planned diet thing is off to a great start.
Hey, but look at it this way. You give yourself this week to kind of just enjoy, chill, accept it all. And then Sunday we get to work. But I'm excited about the daylight savings situation as well. Another hour of golf for every afternoon. So a very, very, kind of appealing set of circumstances for me. Plus, I'm not trying to revisit the cold situation, and it doesn't get as cold where I'm at, obviously. However, I think I reached the point in life. I think when we're all kids, it's like, oh, hell yeah, it's cold. My hoodie. This is awesome. Nah, done with that. Nah, stupid. I don't like that anymore. Fine. You want to get to 50 degrees and I got to put on a light jacket? That's fine. We're going out to dinner, whatever. But no, keep it in the 60s, keep it in the 70s, and let's party. Let's chill right there.
I don't like being cold. I've never been a big fan of the cold. If I've got to go somewhere because of work and it's cold and I'm getting paid, I'm fine with that, obviously. But, like Rob right now on his way to go skiing in New Mexico. I've got other friends that are skiing right now in Colorado. All the crap we just went through a couple of weeks ago, now you're going to co-pay money to go deal with that. Now, granted, you'll have heat and running water, but, my wife last weekend went skiing with my daughter. I ain't doing that. You want a beach? trip, I'm all down. You want to go to the desert where there's lots of big buildings, lights, and casinos? I'm getting close to being ready to do that again. But I'm not going to go ski. I don't understand. Look, for the people that want to go skiing, great. I can't do it, man. It's just too much. And then Rob's like, I don't even think I'm going to ski. All right.
That's okay. Well, I mean, all then Rob's going to do is go to the cabin, sit, park, and drink. That's
yes. Pretty much. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if I'm going to sit somewhere and just drink all day, I'd rather do it at the beach as opposed to having to put on layers and layers of clothes to go outside, to go basically from wherever you're staying, the house, to your car, to the bar, to get into the bar, and then have to take all that stuff off. And as you've traveled with us to cold weather places, both Rob and I are very guilty of when you're walking out of the bar or the restaurant, because we're not used to wearing big coats and going to the coat room to get your coat when you're leaving, or the little hook underneath the bar. You walk outside and go, holy crap, it's cold out here. I got to go back in and find my coat. I can't tell you how many times I've left a coat at a place.
That's a real factor. The only pro that cold environments have, and it's the right kind of cold environment, all right? You're sitting in, I know Pledge has lived this life once or twice. You're sitting in the jacuzzi or the hot tub or the spring or whatever it is. You got snow around you. You can plop your drink right into the snow, keep it nice and cold. That's a cool benefit. That's the only one.
Yeah.
That's a cool benefit.
And it's great till you stand up. I'm just saying. I mean, we did that at New Year's down at the coast. That hot tub is fantastic until you got to get up and run inside. It's just not for me. Lots to get into today on the Blitz. Wouldn't be any fun if you didn't participate. You can always dial us up on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone line, 656-ESPN, 656-3776. Get us on Twitter. He is at RJ Ochoa. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. It's Monday, the day after the NBA All-Star game, which we'll get into plenty coming up. But the Spurs in another trade rumor. I like this one. What would it take to pull off this deal with the Orlando Magic? We're getting into conference tournament time, some games this weekend, and, the end of the regular season over the weekend. We'll talk about that. Of course, it's a day that ends in Y, so Dak Prescott has yet to be signed. But that deadline that we've been hearing about might be in flux. So we'll get into that as well. And coming to America.
Yeah.
Extremely mixed reviews on Coming to America 2. You didn't like it or you didn't watch it? You're giving me the thumbs down on the video if you're watching on Facebook Live or the YouTube channel. You didn't watch it?
I will not watch it. Well, I was telling Pledge just a minute ago before we jumped on. The first Coming to America is just okay. You know what I mean? It's not this revolutionary point of comedy for me. I mean, so it looks awful. I'm in no way interested to watch Coming to America. Also, this is a rule of thumb. Anytime the sequel to something has the number 2 as a pun, it is not good. The 2 is fine if it's at the end. Rush Hour 2 is a good movie because the 2 is at the end. But if the number 2 is used as a pun, it's not going to work. That's a good rule of thumb to live your life by.
RJ hates it, hasn't even seen it, and his analysis kind of spot on. Although I didn't think it was awful. I certainly didn't think it was great. It's exactly what I thought it was. Hour and a half. Couple of laughs, little trip down memory lane, and a lot of people that you haven't seen on your screen in a long time getting a paycheck. It was fantastic in those regards. But first, let's get into the NBA All-Star Game, the annual bitching of the dunk contest. We'll do that next as we continue here on the Blitz. Now, if you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, you need to get your logo on masks, on shirts, on jackets, on caps, apparently bathrobes. You can get into Sammy's Embroidery Club over there on San Pedro. He will get you taken care of. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Medical, restaurants, service industry. You just need that professional look for your company. Get into Sammy's Embroidery Club. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands and is the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too small, certainly no order too big. Check the website, samsembroidery.com, or go visit that massive showroom. It's on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots right there across from the McDonald's. All items do come with the warranty, and you're going to work with Sammy on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now. Call him 210-824-3900. 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Love ESPN San Antonio? Watch the Blitz weekdays 4 to 7 and the Saturday Morning Hangover Saturdays 9 to 11 live at ESPNSA.com or on the ESPN San Antonio Facebook and YouTube pages. Search ESPN San Antonio and subscribe.
Most of us don't think about our brakes until we need to think about our brakes. Jason Minix here for NewBrakes.com, NUBrakes.com. They are a mobile brake shop. They will come to you to fix your brakes. We all like things to be easy and convenient, and New Brakes has done that with brake repair. They will come to your home or office or wherever you are. Busy work schedule? No problem. Relaxing at the house? No worries. New Brakes comes to you, and they will repair your brakes while you do whatever it is you do. At New Brakes, they only fix brakes. New Brakes provides convenient and affordable brake repairs without the normal upsells traditional repair shops love to give you once your car is up on the lift. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. New Brakes uses premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Go read all the 5-star reviews. If your brakes are squeaking or grinding, go to NewBrakes.com and schedule your repair. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN. NewBrakes.com. That's NUBrakes.com.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? They're here, but you can do more than wait for your turn. Here's how. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with, and it's risky to be indoors with them too. And masks? Well, they protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them. Wear a mask, watch your distance, and make a big difference now.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save for driving safely. Save for driving less with pay-per-mile insurance. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. Savings based on early signing, discount drive-bys, and mile wise. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
In 2003, it was rare for freshmen to carry a college basketball team. Never mind 2 of them. But for Syracuse, Carmelo Anthony and Jerry McNamara did just that, all the way to a national championship. Anthony led the team in scoring and rebounds, while McNamara led the team in assists and was 3rd in scoring. In the national championship game against Kansas, Carmelo was the game's leading scorer with 20, and McNamara added 18.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
March is the biggest month in college basketball, where teams across the country test their talent in the hopes of winning it all. For finding talent that can help your team win it all, there's LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job with targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of qualified candidates. Manage job posts and contact candidates from a single view, as functions are streamlined onto one simple screen. Post a job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Let's get wild.
What'd you guys think of the NBA All-Star Game last night? 656 ESPN, 656-3776 on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. On Twitter, he is at RJ Ochoa. I'm at Jason Minix. Rob's on vacation. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed everything that I saw last night during the All-Star. I really did. And I'll tell you what, RJ, it wasn't the greatest of basketball games, but some of the in-game stuff with Steph and Dame and little guys throwing alley-oops to themselves, Zion blowing dunk after dunk after dunk. I thought it was well done. I liked the skills competition early. The dunk contest, we'll bitch about that. And look, the NBA's got to figure out what to do with the dunk contest. But as much as the players bitched about having to go, as a basketball fan, I needed that. And I'm glad they showed up and did what they had to do to entertain us on a Sunday night for a couple hours. And I know the NBA took a lot of flack, and some of the video that I saw from around Atlanta, because apparently COVID disappeared from Atlanta, but inside that building, inside the arena, I'm glad they pulled that off. I think we all needed that. And hats off to the NBA and the players that went for pulling that off. And a barber who damn near blew it off for everybody, almost like the Super Bowl. It's the barber.
Well, speaking of the Super Bowl, this was not the first time that all-stars were in this arena, as yourself, Rob Thompson, and I were in that arena for Super Bowl Media Night. Once upon a time, great, hanging out with the Rams and the Patriots and whatnot. I love All-Star Saturday Night. I love it more than the All-Star Game. I think it's more of I wish the Pro Bowl still incorporated like the fastest man and the quarterbacks trying to hit the moving targets. Like, I like that stuff more. We watch basketball games like every night of the season. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to see another game. But it was cool. I think the most exciting thing was the 3-point contest. Like, that was really cool. Did enjoy that. Shout out to Mike Conley. Pledge was bagging on him on Saturday. Being named an All-Star replacement. So really
because
showed
he
up.
stole DeMar spot.
Well, Pledge said
I'm still
that
bagging on him. Don't worry.
Pledge said that in some more egregious terms, but I'll just let you go listen to the podcast version of the show if you want. But I respect to him for hanging in there. But Steph was awesome. Like, that was the best part of the evening. Was like, and in a way that was like Steph like leaving his arm up was like Excalibur wielding his sword. It was so nice to see again.
It may be because it is Steph, or we knew who was in the 3-point shooting contest. The 3-point shooting contest, more dramatic and more entertaining than the slam dunk contest. I mean, it really was. And you're right. I mean, that was an incredible part of the show. And you go back to the traditional All-Star Weekend with All-Star Saturday Night, a made-for-TV event. The problem that I have with it, whether you're there in person or if you're trying to watch on TV, is it just is such a long night, especially if you're inside the building. It's almost like if you've ever gone to a Major League Baseball All-Star Weekend, the Saturday night home run derby thing takes about 9 hours because, the interviews and the commercial breaks between every hitter. I mean, it's just a long day that if you're not overly entertained, if you've never been, it's cool. If you're there, whatever. But if it's one of those things. I liked how it was all done in one night. It started at 5:30. And at 10 o'clock, the unfortunate part for me is I had to watch the DVR, the Meghan, Prince Henry, Oprah interview thing. But, it's neither here. But I thought the NBA did a fantastic job pulling this off when it would have been very easy for them just to take a week and do nothing.
I have a very small detail that I can't decide if I liked or not as it relates to the slam dunk contest. Now, I maintain that I like everything being its own night. I like the Saturday night thing, but I kind of liked the actual All-Stars being in basketball apparel for the slam dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt cooler. You know what I mean? It instead of because generally the Saturday night is only the players that are involved or in their jerseys or whatever.
Everybody else looks like they're on a fashion runway.
Right, and it was kind of cool, like that. It was this basketball wide sort of thing. But you went there. The slam dunk contest sucks. Like it is. If there was any idea whether or not it was long gone as a main event. Of all the every sport has its things, but of the non-things that were relating to the actual sports, the slam dunk contest was number one across all sports. It's not even I don't even know what the top 5 is, but it's not in there. I do know that for sure.
And we'll ask you guys on Twitter, how do you fix the slam dunk contest? At RJ Ochoa, at Jason Minix, at I Am Pledger. I look at that and, Zion teased us that he was going to be in it. Zion would have put on a show. Back in the day when Blake Griffin was jumping over cars, he, by the way, is with the Brooklyn Nets now. No surprise. You just look at what they're doing, is incredible. Don't get me wrong, but it's hard to come up with something original. The little Nerf basket thing that if he would have dunked the Nerf ball and then grabbed that, or I don't know what you can do. The kissing of the rim, and they're bagging on the guy for not actually kissing the rim. Nobody needs to go see the dentist at All-Star Weekend. The Emergency Dental Clinic of Atlanta would have had the business plus social distancing. He would have been crucified if he had actually put his lips on that rim, right? But we are so quick to be negative on everything that, the fact that kid basically was lipped a rim and could have banged his head on the rim if he wanted to. I don't blame him for not actually putting his lips on the rim. I don't know why that wasn't just good enough, because that was pretty freaking incredible watching him do that.
It's an incredible display of human athleticism. There's no denying that. It's not an incredible dunk. I mean, like, that's the other thing. Like, we grade these the same every year. So you're telling me, like, this is a 50 when, like, all these other dunks from the past are 50s, and, like, it doesn't jive. Like, that's not – that doesn't make sense.
When you're trying to jump over people and you've got to put your arm on their shoulders, then that doesn't count. I can be that critical of what you're doing, but I think it comes down to put the stars in that thing, and it can bring back what we all want to see. I mean, you're a golfer now, right? If I mean, you move to a golf course and you're breaking 90 on the regular, so I mean, I can call you a golfer now. If you're watching a longest drive competition, but the best drivers on tour aren't competing, you feel a little cheated about what you're watching, because those aren't the best drivers, right? The same thing here. I want to see what some of these other guys can do in a dunk contest. I want to see Zion in that situation. And I know the personalities of some of those guys, so you're going to be entertained versus what we got last night.
It's interesting you bring that up, because that's kind of the line of thought I had. At this point, like, we just have to accept that Zion, LeBron, whoever is not going to participate in the dunk contest, right? That's just not going to happen. So what you need to do then, if you want to, like, put on these, like, exemplary, dunkings of human nature, let professional dunkers do it. Like, the dudes in the long drive competitions, that's not like your PGA Tour superstars, because it's a different skill, right? Like, sure. You're focused on that particular thing. So, like, there has to be, like, some, like, army of dunkers ready to do, like, some incredible things. Let them use trampolines. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, like, if you're just trying to, like, do some incredible dunk, like, lean into that, because I don't want to see this. Like, this is boring to me.
I think you're onto something. You get the coyote, you get the gorilla from the Phoenix Suns, you get some of these mascots. Let them go put on a show if you're going to entertain me. Right. To see somebody lift up a sponsored trophy, and again, it's the annual bitching of what's wrong with the All-Star game. I don't know what the NFL can do to fix it. It falls in line to, what does the NFL do with the Pro Bowl? Because most of the guys don't want to go. Most people aren't watching that part of it. And when it was All-Star Saturday night, the ratings for All-Star Saturday night were not worthy of being on TNT. So they know they've got some issues to fix. I kind of like having it all in one day. I don't know if that would fly with the players, but I could almost see All-Star Saturday being the game and the skills and everything there, and then Sunday the players get an extra day off.
I do want to hit you with a pop quiz, and I will say I don't think I could have done this. I maybe could have gotten one. I am not counting Anthony Simmons, who won last night. So prior to him, can you name any of the previous 5 slam dunk champions?
No.
Can you pledge any of the previous 5 prior to last night?
No. The answer is no.
I don't think I can.
I mean, you can't Google fast enough. And that's where it's become. I know. Brent Barry has told the story that his 1996 slam dunk ball, his trophy, he had cut to where it's now like a bowl that you could use for like guacamole or stuff like that. He uses it as a serving dish at parties. That's where we're at, and it started back then. 25 years ago, right here in San Antonio, that, the idea of the slam dunk contest, it's been a while since you've been wowed at one of those things. And maybe Blake being in it was probably the last time that I think you were wowed watching the slam dunk contest. Vince Carter isn't doing it anymore, although it'd be kind of fun to see Vince Carter doing it.
You mentioned Blake. I think that's a guess that a lot of people would have gone to, but the only ones I would have guessed Zach LaVine, just because in my mind, like, you associate him, that would have fit, but it would have been a total stab in the dark. Donovan Mitchell won it in 2018. But other than that, like, I mean, even like going back to Vince in 2000, like there isn't a lot since then that has really wowed you. Nate Robinson won it in 2006. I was there. That was awesome. And that was he jumped over Spud Webb. You mentioned it. Like, if you're going to bring someone out, or if you're going to put on a jersey, like Anthony put on the T-Mac jersey, like, you got to do something awesome. Like, you can't just, like, put on the jersey and, like, have it just be a jersey. Like, you got to jump over that dude, or you got to, like, do the dunk that dude did in, like, a heightened way. Like, it's got to be something epic if you're going to use a prop like that.
It's funny because you mentioned Zach LaVine. He won it in 15 and 16 because I Googled it. And he was the last one I could remember, but I was thinking it was more than 5 years ago. So it just barely reaches your cutoff.
Yeah.
And then I would have said Nate Robinson because he won that one in Dallas because I was there for that one. So I remember that one at that All-Star game, which happened to be in 2011. I don't remember John Wall doing it, but apparently he won it in 2014 down in New Orleans. Donovan Mitchell, I vaguely kind of remember now that I see his name on the list. Derek Jones Jr. apparently won it last year. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly wouldn't have guessed Donovan Mitchell. Like that already feels lost in my memory. Like Zach LaVine is the last kind of like, recollection of a dunk champion. But like, I don't know. Like all I remember at this point, like moving back in my mind, is Dwight Howard putting on the Superman cape, Blake Griffin jumping over the Kia, and Nate Robinson jumping over Spud Webb. That's it. Like you can't like. I mean, I don't know. It's frustrating because it's a cool idea.
And I know they're judges, but they're in Atlanta. Spud Webb was sitting right there. Somebody could have just jumped over Spud. I mean, you could have had some fun. I'm guessing he can't dunk a basketball anymore.
Hey, you never know. But would you let anybody jump over you? Would you be a prop?
Dude, I am 5'7". Yeah. I mean, honestly, no, I wouldn't just let anybody jump over me. But, if I happen to be, I don't know, at the AT&T Center doing something down on the floor and Lonnie Walker were to come up to me and said, hey, stand right here, I'm going to jump over you, I'd let Lonnie jump over me.
Would you let Pledge or I, in the coyote and gorilla suits, with a trampoline, try to jump over you?
No.
Wow.
I mean, maybe Pledge because he's got some athleticism, but not in some sort of costume. Because
Pledge could do it in the Sun's gorilla outfit. I totally believe this.
See, my problem with you, RJ, is you would trip on those big old coyote feet before you ever got to the trampoline. That would be my fear.
I would be great at doing the, like, get one half of the crowd excited and the other half. Like, I would have a lot of fun with that, but, like, actually jumping would be very difficult.
It would be very difficult. As the All-Star game is behind us, we'll get ready for the quote-unquote second half of the season to begin this week. And as we do, we're getting closer and closer to the trade deadline, and the trade rumors involving the Spurs heating up, a very significant one coming out of the ringer that we'll talk about as we continue here on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Game nights, the Blitz focuses on your silver and black in depth for 30 minutes. Game night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom.
This is Matt Bonner.
Spend your game nights with us. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Did you wake up this morning feeling good? I did. I've been a part of the Institute for Functional Health for the last 18 months or so, and it's literally the best decision I've ever made. Down nearly 40 pounds now, walked in there 300, and it's still on my way down. This is a lifestyle change, but I tell you what, the medical benefits have been extraordinary, but just my general way of life, my goodness, no more aching joints. I'm sleeping all night long. My food, man, I enjoy the food I'm eating. I've learned how to eat and what to eat from Dr. Torres, because what he did is he put together a program only and specifically for me, not off the rack for others. This was made for me, using my biology, using my genetics, using everything involved to help me live a healthier lifestyle. And certainly losing weight has been a great part of that. I want you to call Dr. Torres today, 210-468-1891. Speak with him. It's a free consultation. You'll find out what I know. Check out their website, IFFhealth.com. Call the Institute for Functional Health. Get on a road to wellness. Get feeling better, losing weight under the supervision of a medical professional. Call the IFH today. Talk to Dr. Torres. I'm sure you'll thank me later.
At Thomas J. Henry, our sole focus is to help injured clients rebuild their lives. If you've been hurt, don't wait. Start your claim today at tjhlaw.com/radio. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine Pancreatic Insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Listen to this radio station on the radio.com app anytime, anywhere. Listen to more than 300 stations along with more than 3,000 podcasts from your home area or across the U.S., all free.
With the radio.com app.
What are real people saying about Skechers Arch Fit footwear? Joe from Hilton Head says, excellent product. I need arch support, and these shoes have it. Joe, Skechers Arch Fit don't just have arch support, they have podiatrist-certified arch support that was developed with over 20 years of data. These shoes are great for virtually everybody. Next, Pete from New York writes, great for walking. I stand a lot of work, and the Arch Fit keeps me comfortable. My feet don't feel tired at the end of the day. Okay, Pete gets it. He's walking, working, just living in Skechers Arch Fit. And since Arch Fit is the ultimate solution for all-day comfort, his feet still feel good after a long, long day. Now let's hear what Retired for Life from Florida has to say. Bought these for use as everyday wear shoes. The arch support is amazing. All right? Look, she's getting the support she needs, and she's also sneaky smart wearing these every day because Skechers Arch Fit are machine washable, so you can keep them looking great no matter how much you wear them. She's a genius. Feel for yourself what everybody's raving about. Find podiatrist-certified Skechers Arch Fit at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Spurs trade rumors in full swing as we get ready to start the second half of the season. If you're a Spurs GM, Brian Wright, Pop, RC, do you like what you're seeing on these rumors? Now, granted, trade rumors are exactly that, and typically we're well trained in San Antonio that when you hear the Spurs involved in a trade rumor, you immediately can blow it off. But at the same time, it's always fun to go to the trade machine and see what works. Do you like this one? 656 ESPN, 656 3776. RJ Ochoa is in for a vacationing Rob Thompson. I'm Jason Minix. A report from the Ringer says the Spurs are among a few teams showing significant interest in Nikolai Vucevic from the Orlando Magic. The Heat, Spurs, Celtics, and Hornets, according to the report, are all chasing a guy that's a 24-point guy. I mean, you look at that trade rumor. And again, there's some legs here. Spurs are back in action on Wednesday night on the road against Dallas. And then Friday, they're home against Orlando. So the guy we're talking about is going to be in San Antonio this Friday, the Spurs' first game back. And guess what? It's going to be the first game with fans. And we'll talk about what the Spurs have announced with their fan integration that they're going to do as fans come in. But do you like Vucevic in a trade? What would you be willing to give up? I see Clayton Garcia commenting on our Facebook Live, anybody but Lonnie Walker. Well, Clayton, you and I are going to argue over this one because, as I look at it, I look at Lonnie Walker, I look at LaMarcus Aldridge in a pick, and we're done. Pull the trigger on that trade.
Wow. So Lonnie is touchable to you.
Everybody is touchable.
You don't have an untouchable box.
There isn't an untouchable box. There isn't. I mean, there are some guys that it might be a little bit harder to pry away. And
Who's
I
in
look
that
at
box?
I look at a Derek White and a Jonte because they've got their long-term deals. I don't move Keldon right now because I want to see what I could fully develop with Keldon. Although, if that's what's going to close the deal right now, Keldon, it's been fun. I'll part ways with Lonnie pretty easily. Luka, you can have yourself a Luka if you want. But at the same time, and we talk about this a lot during football season, it's the same scenarios when it works at the NBA level. And look, most people listening to us are Spurs fans, and so they want a deal that makes sense for the Spurs. Try to look at a deal that makes sense for the Orlando Magic as well. If they're going to part ways with somebody, LaMarcus Aldridge has an expiring deal, so that's always attractive for teams at the trade deadline. And Lonnie Walker is a young player that you can help build around. And if you're the Orlando Magic, you're going to want to pick as well. The way the Spurs are playing right now, it doesn't look like they're headed for the lottery, so you could afford to give up a first-round pick if you need to close that deal. But would you do it?
Yeah, I mean, Lonnie's in my not, or whatever you want to term your box, prefer not to give up, whatever. I've got Lonnie higher in that prioritization than Keldon, personally. I think it's fair to have DeJounte and Derek at the top of this, kind of hierarchy. I think Lonnie represents something, potentially special in that mix too. But I mean, at this, it's hard to find any of these trades that is, or these hypotheticals, all these big names, there's not one that I don't think any Spurs fan says no to, right? At this point, it is we're out here in the wandering desert. You know what I mean? Pull off any trade and it's going to be fun. You know what I mean? And I think to me, a trade is more about the disposition of it all. Because we're right now we're about to go down the, this is the Spurs. It's all talk. It's never going to happen, blah, 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 etc. Well, if it does happen, then it's a sign of things being somewhat different. And I think that that's at this point, just do something to indicate that we are down a different path.
Well, and James Hilburn on Facebook Live, and I don't necessarily understand the comment. He says, "You're crazy, Luka Johnson. No way, L.A. and Lonnie can go." I don't know what your fascination is with Luka. He's had one decent game. And look, for the people, look, I'm not getting rid of Keldon. I mean, it's going to take a lot for me to get rid of Keldon. Keldon has surpassed even Lonnie Walker on that list. I see a lot of you commenting on Facebook. You can also dial us up on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. I was talking to Michael Jimenez earlier, another Rock the Mic champ, who's going to be on the show Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for Rob, and of course, host of the Sunday Sports Grill that starts at 11. He liked the idea of foreign players because you don't have to deal with, are they going to want to come to small market San Antonio? And that was an angle that, you hear that from time to time. In this case, it wouldn't matter because he's got a couple years left on his deal and it would be a trade. But, with what we're dealing with, the DeMar who wants, or at least reportedly when he first got here, wants to get back and play closer to home in LA or go to a different city. I'm still holding out hope that DeMar DeRozan ends up signing a long-term deal with the San Antonio Spurs. Whatever baggage he brought with him from Toronto in the Kawhi trade, I hope that's all been unpacked and put away. He seems happy here. He seems to enjoy his teammates here, and he's thriving. Whether he's scoring a bunch of points or assisting, I mean, he's playing within the system. I hope the Spurs are able to sign him to a long-term deal. That said, if they've got indication from him that he is not going to re-sign, he's on the trade block too, so you can get something in return so he doesn't walk and you get nothing for him. That's part of the LaMarcus deal too. LaMarcus, the writing's on the wall. You've gone from starter to bench. Your time in San Antonio is over. If you can get something in return, and Orlando wants that expiring contract, I pull that trigger. And if it takes including a Lonnie Walker in that deal, you have to do it. I mean, again, what makes sense for Orlando in pulling off a trade like this?
I mean, I think the logic here is infallible, right? There's no way you can stroll through any of these hypotheticals and find a point of contention, right? What are the cons You know, like you lose players that you're probably going to lose anyways. You know what I mean? Like you get better. You know, like you start taking steps forward. Like these are the cons that are associated with any of these ideas.
Well, and again, I mean, you've got to give up something, and you know, do I want to give up a Lonnie Walker? No. Would I give up a Lonnie Walker? Absolutely, I would. Does Pop want to give up on Lonnie yet? I don't necessarily know that it's giving up on. It's what will it take to improve our team right now, and what's a piece that we could use going forward. I look at this San Antonio Spurs team as being way ahead of schedule. I mean, coming into this season, I had very low expectations. I didn't think this was going to be close to being a playoff team. I thought they'd be fighting to get into that play-in tournament somewhere, you know, 11, 12, maybe a 10. And you look up, and I mean, you know, now, I know the second half of the schedule is going to be brutal, but, you know, it wouldn't surprise me as we sit here on the 8th day of March to see them finish out the season, if things go extremely well, in the 4th seed. You know, right now, you know, a 6 or 7 is realistic, not necessarily the 10 or 11, although there's not a lot of games separating, you know, 5, 6, 7, and 12. You know what I mean? But I think the Spurs team is ahead of schedule, which could change the thinking of the front office as, you know, we've got our core guys that we know are getting plenty of minutes and that we're going to be able to build around. And could Vucevic come in, you know, be a nice complement player to what we're already doing in 25 points a game? Yeah. And if that means you've got to part ways with the Lonnie Walker, you know, it's going to hurt on both sides. And that's where it's at. You know, if they wanted Lonnie and Keldon, I don't do it. If they want, you know, you're losing an expiring deal and one of your young players and probably a pick. And I'm good with that. I realize it's fantasy, you know, put it in the trade machine. It works. That's the other part of it too. That trade works.
All that being said, whatever combination that we've discussed, give me a 1 to 10 likelihood, your own personal belief that this happens.
Well, since we are talking about it, and I've been trained by the Spurs for so long that if you're talking about a trade that you're hearing about, it's never going to happen. So I'm going to say 2. You know, on a 1 to 10 scale, I think that it's probably around a 2 for this one. Spurs have never been big players at the trade deadline, and that's part of what we're all dealing with as a fan base. Is we're in uncharted territories. The fact that we're hearing legit trade rumors, and you're hearing them almost every day with this person, with that person, and what it sounds like is the Spurs are showing interest, not, you know, teams want somebody that's on the Spurs roster and, you know, they're pretending they're Jack Easterby and not taking any calls on Deshaun Watson type thing. I mean, you know, we're sitting here going, it does seem like the Spurs are being pretty active, so maybe I should bump that 2 up to a 4. I don't know that I'm willing to go 50-50 yet because we're in uncharted territory.
It's been a minute since I've been around the Blitz waters for a prolonged period of time. The Twitter feed is, of course, the ESPN San Antonio Twitter feed, I imagine. Thank you for the assist. But going to the Twitter feed, Julio, who is on Twitter at Sanchez25Edgar, says, honestly, if we're being real, how long are we going to say Lonnie is going to be great? He's overrated at this point. Keep the others if you can. Buy Lonnie, which leads me to, in a vacuum, is Lonnie Walker overrated by Spurs fans? So I think the answer is maybe yes.
I think split. I think, honestly, you know, it's almost like DeMar DeRozan. I think the fan base is split on DeMar DeRozan, partly because DeMar DeRozan hasn't committed to San Antonio yet. So there's this, we like you, man, but you gotta show me something before I completely buy in. I think if DeMar signs a long-term deal, you know, he jumps right up there as the fan favorite. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. I just explained why fans haven't embraced him more, because I think we just feel like he came here to rent and not buy. And so they're not going to let themselves fall in love with a situation like that. Lonnie's had his ups and downs, but people love him. I wouldn't necessarily say he's overrated, but he's much more of a project than I thought he was going to be when he first got drafted. It's taken him longer. Keldon looks like a superstar. Luka looks like a long-term project. Long-term project for somebody else, for that matter. Speaking of the Spurs, the G League team starts their playoffs tonight. I believe they're playing the Delawares. They're going to get started a little after 8 o'clock. Is that right, Pledge? They get going after 8 o'clock. Spurs G League. Pledge isn't paying attention. Sorry.
Yeah, 7:15 tip. They're playing the Delaware Bluecoats.
The Bluecoats, as opposed to the Blue Hens, which is the college team that produced a Joe Flacco. We'll get into that. The NCAA tournament's about to get started. Are you guys ready for the tournament? Oh, we got phone calls. You want to take phone calls or go to break? Pledge. Phone calls?
Obviously.
All right, let's go to the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. Let's see. Fred, you're on line 1. What's up, Fred?
Not much. I'm enjoying your show. How y'all doing?
Doing well, man. What's up?
Not much. Hey, I wouldn't trade any of the young players. Maybe just get rid of the Marcus. You're not going to get a high. We know we're not going to get a high draft pick for him, but we get some picks for a round, later round. The Mars, I think he's doing great. He's improved a whole lot. This whole team has improved compared to last year. I've never been a big fan of LaMarcus. I think he's a wolf. Anyway, that's my take, y'all. Keep up the good work. Enjoy yourself.
Appreciate it, Fred. 656-ESPN, 656-3776 on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. We'll talk about the tournament coming up as we continue here on the Blitz. You know, if you're going to fire up the grill, especially around the tournament, you're going to be in front of the TV all day. You want some great food all day. You want authentic sausage, the kind you could find in butcher shops back in the old days. Then Kia Bossa smoked sausage is what you've been looking for. You see, at Kia Bossa, they make their legendary smoked sausage in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They don't add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood, just the way Rufus Kia Bossa did back in 1949. At Kia Bossa, they're on a mission to reintroduce you to authentic smoked meats. So when you buy Kia Bossa brand sausage, you know you're getting the best, most authentic smoked sausage you will ever eat. If it's not, just call Michael Kia Bossa. He'll give your money back. He puts his phone number on the back of every package sold. Kia Bossa sausage is now available at Walmart, and you can find Kia Bossa sausage, bacon, chorizo, and breakfast links at an H-E-B near you. You're going to fire up the grill? Get some Kia Bossa today.
ESPN San Antonio and Stevens Roofing come together in our Drive to End Hunger. Brought to you in part by Quarter Moon Heating and AC, Roof Fix, and Airtron Heating and Air Conditioning. We have come together to support the San Antonio Food Bank. Give what you can at ESPNSA.com.
Joe, it's fantastic to be a local business.
Sure is, Nigel. And being local means every customer, every time matters. It also means doing things right with honesty, integrity, and good old-fashioned customer service.
All of us at Quarter Moon Plumbing value your time, your home. We may have fun on the radio, but we're serious when it comes to providing unmatched plumbing and AC services in and around San Antonio.
With a large team of qualified residential and commercial technicians, we are Quarter Moon Plumbing and Air Conditioning. And nothing is more important to us than making you smile on the radio and making you smile with outstanding customer service with a friendly Texas spirit.
We always say, from the outhouse to the penthouse, we can plumb it and we can cool it.
And all that at a fair price with one easy phone call to 210-651-5899.
See, Joe? I told you I could do it without clowning around.
So what's with the red nose?
You can let go now. That's not funny.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number M13229 TACLA 000743458.
Receive a $5 rebate by trading up a non-contact thermometer toward an Exocrine temporal scanner purchased at any retailer. Fever is a leading symptom of COVID, and using an accurate thermometer has never been more critical. In published studies, no-touch thermometers miss more fevers than they detect. While the new COVID vaccines are becoming more widely available, it is important to make sure you are protected. Monitor for fever with an accurate thermometer backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Details at Exocrine.com, where accuracy matters.
Switch to T-Mobile for Business and get up to 90 days of service free via virtual rebate on your business plan. You get a great deal, the largest 5G network, and first-class benefits like Microsoft 365 on us. It's better for business and only with T-Mobile for Business. Limited time offer. Stop in-store for details. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Virtual Express MasterCard within 8 weeks of receipt of valid submission. Complete port within 60 days. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices, coverage, and plan details.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facility safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If I'm not commuting anymore, where do I really want to live?
While you handle life's questions, Merrill Guided Investing helps you manage your portfolio and invest for your next move with the option to work with an advisor at a low cost and minimum. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/investing goals to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, both a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, member SIPC. Investment products are not FDIC insured or not bank guaranteed and may lose value.
March Madness officially beginning. We got conference tournament action all weekend, or all week, then into the weekend, of course. Wednesday night, Texas A&M, yep, they're in the tournament, the 13th seed in the SEC tournament. They open play Wednesday against Vanderbilt in a game you can hear right here on ESPN San Antonio. Aggie basketball on ESPN SA, brought to you by the Roo Pub and Angry Elephant. On a Thursday, Texas Tech and Texas are going to play another game you can hear here on ESPN San Antonio. We'll try to bring you as much of the coverage as we can. And it's a good time now to start telling you. ESPNSA.com. What are we calling it this year? Our Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge, because we couldn't just call it a bracket challenge, so we got to call it a Basketball Mayhem Bracket Challenge. It's a nationwide deal, but you could end up winning $1 million. Might try to find some local prizes as well. Can't fill out your bracket yet because we don't know yet who's going to be in there. But, you know, the final weekend, Duke, North Carolina, it's still must-see TV, but, man, Duke isn't a good team. It's going to be weird, you know, hearing Coach K bitch about having a tournament this year, and then they don't get invited, isn't it?
Yeah. Pledge and I were talking about this on Saturday. I mean, it's weird, but does it, like, really impact you? You know what I mean? Like beyond saying, like, it's weird. It really, like, that's the impact, is that we just say it's weird and then it's kind of over.
Well, I mean, again, unless you're a Duke fan, which I'm not, but there are certain things you expect. You know, the sun is going to rise every morning. Duke is going to be in the tournament. To see Duke just get blown out the way they are, they're not even competitive. It's Duke. I mean, you know, seeing Michigan State upset Michigan over the weekend. And again, if that knocks Michigan off the 1 seed, you know, Izzo's got that going for him because Michigan State's not having the year that they've had, you know, that we're used to. You know, it's weird seeing the Blue Bloods struggle a little bit, but when the tournament starts and it's one and done, you know, how many of these teams are going to show up, see what's across the other team's shirt, and bleep their pants? I mean, I think this upcoming tournament is going to be wild in that respect, that we'll see some upsets that maybe you're not counting on. That said, it's going to be Baylor and Gonzaga in the championship game.
Wow, no respect for my mighty Michigan Wolverines.
None.
How could you?
None.
Wow. Nah, you're going out on a limb right now. You're saying Baylor Gonzaga title game. You're putting that in stone right now.
If I had a bracket printed out, I would put that in Sharpie right now.
Don't do that. You have to say right now that's going to be in your bracket. You have to commit to that if you're going to say it.
I'm committed to it. I mean, I've been committed to it for months. The question is, am I going to be brave enough to pick Baylor to win a national championship? Because Gonzaga is that good. I know you've been a Michigan man for apparently 8 minutes now. But
2 days.
2 days.
Put some respect on it.
Yeah. I mean, look, to the point where you showed up today in khaki pants, man. I appreciate that. But
that's right.
Michigan's got a good basketball team, but that loss, if that knocks them off a 1 seed, yikes, that's going to be bad. Hey, since we have RJ Ochoa with us today, and tomorrow's the tag deadline, we'll talk Dak next on the Blitz.
Game nights, the Blitz goes silver and black.
This is Matt Bonner. Hi, this is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
It's Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. 30 minutes before every game night on the Blitz, we give you an in-depth look at your silver and black. Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. Spend your game nights with us.
1250.
ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM.
What's up, San Antonio? It's March, and that can only mean one thing. It's time for the biggest St. Paddy's Day party ever, Part 6. Chip Ingram here from the Root Pub and Angry Elephant, and let me tell you something. It's been one hell of a year, San Antonio, and even the governor agrees you've earned the right to celebrate. So we're going to throw an outdoor parking lot party with DJs, food trucks, and adult beverages as far as the eye can see. Wednesday, March 17th, doors open at 11 a.m. The Root Pub and Angry Elephant at the corner of Redland and 281. See you there.
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, pump, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through Ortho Connect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Here's the good news. Even with high unemployment, there's still a need for hundreds of thousands of cybersecurity professionals in the U.S. right now. And My Computer Career is training people to help meet the demand. No IT experience? No problem. Take the free career evaluation today at mycomputercareer.edu. Start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. Grants covering up to 53% of the cost are available to those who qualify. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
O'Reilly. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get up to a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries. With the power and capacity your vehicle demands, Superstart batteries are designed for lasting performance and consistent starts. Turn the key with confidence with Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. Online at ESPNSA.com. All day, every day. KZDC San Antonio. Jason Minutes. Rob Thompson. The Blitz.
It is the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, ESPNSA.com. RJ Ochoa in for a vacationing Rob Thompson. I'm Jason Minix. James Pledger producing as always. Little after 5 o'clock on a Monday after All-Star Weekend. And the tag deadline is, well, tomorrow, maybe. RJ Ochoa, original Rock the Mic champ, now running everything for bloggingtheboys.com. You look at the Dak story, and we've talked about it for years and years and years and years now. I really don't know what we're going to do when he actually does sign his big time contract, because it is the gift that keeps on giving for those that have to provide content. And people still have many, many, many opinions on whether or not he should or should not get a long-term deal. But there's a bit of a hiccup, according to Ian Rappaport and others that cover the NFL. Ian's the first one I saw that had something about it. Because they can't figure out the salary cap yet, they might push the deadline for the tag. So that could end up buying the Cowboys a few extra days to get a deal done with Dak Prescott, because they seem so close yet so far away.
Yeah, I mean, all of this is technically true. The only thing that this would impact the Cowboys, or the only manner in which this would impact the Cowboys, would be giving them time. The franchise tag value for Dak Prescott is set because he was tagged last year. It's 120% of his value last year, which was $31.4 million, which gets up to 37.7 this year. And so, yeah, I mean, it would give them extra time, but we have a video up on the Blog on the Boys YouTube channel, self-promotion there. I broke down kind of the 3 ways that this is going to go. It's going to go one of these 3 ways this week. Either the Cowboys are going to extend Dak, which is possible, but not that likely. The Cowboys are not going to place the franchise tag on Dak, which is incredibly unlikely. Or the overwhelming likelihood, they're going to place the franchise tag on him. And the reason for that, I mean, to be blunt, they're screwed. I mean, like, they have to, all of the evidence points to they are going to have to overwhelm him financially to get him to agree to a deal because they painted themselves into this corner.
One of the things that is not going to happen, which was suggested to me by a friend of mine who I used to think was kind of smart, but Dak's not going to sit out the year and leave $37 million on the table because that's guaranteed. I mean, and that's one of the things with Dak Prescott right now that, you know, regardless, he's still going to make $37 million this coming year at the very least. So the idea that he could sit out if he doesn't get a deal is ludicrous because nobody's going to walk away from $37 million. I look at the cash part of it, RJ, and I know we've kind of gone back and forth on this, and the numbers are what they are. It's still years, and Jerry wants to spread it out. I wonder if they come in with voidable years or some sort of no tag clause, no trade clause. I'm trying to think of what are the other things that could be separating them at this point. I mean, they have played this out to the point of there's nothing else to talk about because the numbers are what they are. The market is what it is. If it's just years, then you should be able to come to some sort of agreement there. So what else could they be looking at? Could it be voidable years? Could it be a no trade clause? Could it be a we'll never tag you again for the rest of your life clause when you're at the end of this deal? And I wonder if it's a short-term deal, if Todd France is also asking for the no tag on a short deal too, which would really handcuff the Dallas Cowboys. I'm trying to think of things from the Cowboys side that would keep them from just giving Dak what he wants.
So I'm going to, for the purposes of this conversation, I'm going to use approximate values. Nice and easy math because I know that's what I need. You're a math genius.
Math is hard. Math is hard.
So on the tag last year, Dak made $31 million. This year, we'll round it up to $38 million. $69 million over 2 years. Nice, I know. Next year, that tag value, if he's tagged, is $54 million. That value, everybody loves to say, there's no way he's going to get that. There's no way he'll get that on the open market. It doesn't matter because he knows he has it from the Cowboys, right? Like he knows he's got the Cowboys in a situation where if he plays this year out on the tag, they're going to, in some way, shape, or form, have to pay him $54 million a year starting in 2022 because that's the way the franchise tag works. And so altogether, that's $123 million from 2020 through 2022. Divided by 3, that's an annual average rate of $41 million. That's $123 million completely, fully, totally, absolutely, unequivocally guaranteed. So I think in 2019, that's where the dissolution happened that made this what it is now. In 2019, the Cowboys, I do believe Dak, this is my own assertion, I believe Dak would have taken some sort of, call it a bargain, whatever you want. You know, I'm not demanded to be the highest in this or that category because that's the way this goes. If you're getting offered a deal after your third year in the NFL, it's smart to cash out right then. But the Cowboys made him prove it. And so the moment he got to that tag, I mean, again, he got to a place where he has over $120 million completely guaranteed on a 3-year deal effectively. And the Cowboys are saying, take our 5-year deal where we'll pay you less per year. We'll give you less guaranteed. So what's it going to take? They're going to have to either give him a short-term deal, right? A 3-year deal. They didn't even want to do a 5-year deal or a 4-year deal, excuse me. They're going to have to pay him a gargantuan amount per season, which isn't necessarily a big deal. Or what I would imagine, they're going to have to overwhelm him with guarantees because that's where this is.
And I'm sort of with you there, although I do agree, and I think you can, if you're the Cowboys, like you just laid out what Todd France is trying to say, because we've got that $54 million on that third tag guaranteed. I look at that and say there's no way that they are going to allow a $54 million cap hit next year. All right, so
he'll walk.
So to me, that's off the table. And if I'm going to lose them, I'm going to lose them. But I do look at the Cowboys' commitment. If they offered them over $110 million guaranteed in the neighborhood of that $43 million, which are some numbers that we heard a year ago, we haven't heard hard numbers this year. Nobody's been able to get the dollar range that we're looking for, from a Jane Slater to a Mike Fisher to any of the national guys. I haven't seen anybody post any accurate numbers. All right. So we can only go off what the numbers we saw last year. And then, if he wants to be above Deshaun but below Mahomes, which we've heard, then, you're still in that 41-43 range, which is where the Cowboys were planning on being anyway. To me, it's the fifth year. So how do you get the fourth or fifth year? Do you make them somewhat voidable or promise a no tag, which again, I think a no tag is something that the Cowboys would be very hesitant to throw in there, because we know that the Cowboys do like to use the tag, and they're not afraid to use the tag, and Dak Prescott is fully aware of that. So I think those are there. And the other thing that we haven't heard, other than Jane Slater when she was on the Blitz last week, and I know she talked about this on NFL Network, talking about how Dak's been in the facility on a daily basis working out. So if Dak is going into the facility and using it, if I'm Jerry or Steven, I go have a face-to-face with Dak Prescott. I try to do something, whether if Todd France is there or not there, but knowing the reports we heard last year that Dak got on the phone with Steven at the end trying to get this done, I think you need to get a face-to-face with either Dak or Dak and Todd France, get in a room and hash this out face-to-face.
So a lot of Dak detractors, Dak doubters, whatever you want to call it, they love to tell us at Blogging the Voice, oh, you guys just want to hand Dak a blank check, right? And have him fill it out, whatever. In some sense, though, that kind of has to happen, like in some capacity, because the Cowboys have botched this. Like, even if you don't believe in Dak Prescott, you have to come to the realization that they have galactically messed this up. They could have had him for $35 million a year. It's going to end up costing, to your point, somewhere between 41 and 43. They could have probably had him for like $108 million total guaranteed. It's going to cost them, I don't know, maybe somewhere between 115 and 120. They could have had him on a 5-year deal then. And,
hang on now. I mean, by all accounts, they offered him that contract, and he turned it down. So they couldn't have had him for about 108 or 35 guaranteed. He was offered that, and he said no.
They offered him that a year ago. So, like, if my point is, if that offer that they're offering him, like, let's rewind to last year. The offer last year was what they should have offered in 2019, because the reality is you can't pay what it's worth in the moment. You're paying for future investment, and so like that's the problem. Like, yes, the offer last year would have been the investment to make in 2019, but they didn't. And so they keep trying to do this and they're chasing their tail, and it's never going to work.
656 ESPN 656-3776. Let's go to the Kia Boss of Bacon phone lines. T wants to talk that contract. What's up, T?
Yeah, man. I just think it's absurd. I've been a Cowboys fan for my entire life now, and just seeing how, we kind of had a QB in Tony Romo, and that you felt like the franchise was wasting his career with that too. It took too long to protect him, building around him, and then he just retired. We finally got another QB, and he's a fourth rounder. He comes out playing amazing, and for 4 years we get him dirt cheap. And then, like you guys said, they're trying to chase tails. They're trying to make it meet now, and it's kind of at that point where it's a little too late. But we paid him like $800,000 in 2016, like less than $1 million for like 3 straight years when we first got him.
You're right. He was such a bargain on his rookie contract, and that's part of the issue that the Cowboys have now. Similar with the Seahawks. The Seahawks went to 2 Super Bowls when Russ was on a rookie deal, and they haven't been back to the Super Bowl since he got paid. It is so hard when you've got one player taking up that big of a percentage of your salary cap, and then you want to go in and fill in the blanks. But to RJ's point, the Cowboys have botched this. They could have got this, or you feel like they could have got it, or at least tried to get this done sooner, but they were still trying to win with him on the rookie deal. I mean, you go back to, when Zeke was on the beach in Mexico working out, holding out, we all thought, and not just Cowboy fans, national media thought, that was a Super Bowl caliber team. And that was still with Dak Prescott on a rookie deal. Jerry Flinch thinking he had a Super Bowl caliber team, but his running back was on a beach right now. We had to get that deal done. Zeke pushed the envelope and got paid. they were still trying to get it done with Dak Prescott on a rookie deal. When they can get it done cheap, win a Super Bowl, everybody's going to get paid. And I think that was kind of the mindset when you go back and go, well, Dak is still cheap, and because he was a fourth rounder, we get that extra year with him being cheap, and probably feeling like they were going to get a deal done, because who in their right mind turns down $100 million guaranteed? But Dak did.
So the other thing here is, to T's point, there's narrative that works against the Cowboys. Like, besides like all of the logic and data that works against them here, the narrative that, they're not good at this, right? Like, they stumbled ass backwards into Tony Romo. You find this undrafted free agent. They tried to draft Paxton Lynch and Connor Cook ahead of Dak Prescott, stumble ass backwards into him. Like, you're not good at this. What's more is you have had, like, talking to the Cowboys, no issue handing out big-time contracts lately. And you're handing them out to positions that are devalued in today's modern NFL. You paid an off-the-ball linebacker in Jalen Smith. That didn't work out. You paid a running back. You doubled down after using a top 5 pick. And look, I think you've heard all the running backs don't matter chatter. Like, I think that philosophy has really gained steam almost in the last 3 to 4 years. And so it wasn't as prevalent when the Cowboys held the 4th overall pick 5 years ago. But that being said, 2 years ago, the Cowboys had an opportunity to look at that and say, you know what? We made that pick and it kind of worked out for us. We won a bunch of football games, but let's be smarter about roster construction. But to your point, they blinked. And now, with the most important player on their team, they've developed what I guess they view as principles and morals. And it's difficult to believe that they accidentally got here. You know what I mean? This is such I don't know, maybe when Erica was little, you walked into the living room and she had twirled herself up and something like that. And you're like, how'd you do this? This is impressive. I can't believe you actually pulled this off. That's kind of what this is. It is an incredible ecosystem of failure that truly took some incompetence to manage. And somehow, some way, they might actually take it all the way and lose the quarterback altogether.
Let's go back to the Kia Boss of Bacon phone lines. Asia, you're on the Blitz. What's up? That was a fantastic call. That's where the Cowboys are right now when they call Dak Prescott. They just hear the dial tone.
I mean, but honestly, it's what's strange too is all of everything we just said. We didn't even mention the fact that you lost him last season, right? He was hurt and you sucked, and completely proved his point. And so that, again, it's all amazing in that sense. And something that is, everyone agrees, and the Cowboys got Dak for an incredible bargain throughout his rookie contract. I mean, they probably, I don't know this for a fact, but they probably are thinking, hey, we gave you $31 million last year, so we want to cut that off. That was part of your deal. And they just pissed that away. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't get this done in time.
I look at the situation, and listening to you, you're putting a lot of the blame or all of the blame on the Cowboys side, and hard to argue that. But at the same time, I look at Dak going, a negotiation is supposed to be that. And from all the numbers we heard a year ago, he was offered a pretty fair deal for where he is. He is not Patrick Mahomes. Is he a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League? And I realize some of that doesn't matter. It's who's next, and whoever's next gets paid. We know how that works as well. I do think, though, a good amount of the blame for no deal is on Dak Prescott and his agent, Todd France, because I look at the Cowboys and, they've got a formula. And we've seen them use their formula on another player's long deals, rework them, and they all seem to stay happy. We all have budgets that we have to work with. If you're shopping for a car, you might really like that one, but it might have all kinds of bells and whistles, but you're sitting there going, man, I don't know if I could, how can I justify doing this? Okay, well, if I finance it for 7 years, and now it's $120 more a month over what I said I was going to do. Can I pull this off? And then you got to check what your insurance is going to be. And then, nope, let me go back over to this car. Or when you're buying a house, it's there's the budget of the overall sticker price, but then what is your monthly payment going to be? Jerry's trying to take that signing bonus and spread it out over as much as he can so he could still go shopping for other players to be around him. What good does having $150 million quarterback if you can't go buy yourself a safety? if you can't go buy yourself, another defensive player, an offensive lineman.
To that point, my last thing here, to that point, that's the point. Like to this idea, they don't spend in free agency, right? So like all this argument, like we need salary cap space for what? For Dale Worley? For Nolan Carroll? You know what I mean? Like it's incredibly hypocritical of them to be like, we need all this salary cap space to go, spend it on nobody. I mean, they are not. If they had been players in free agency in the last 3-4 years, if they had took advantage of Dak Prescott's rookie contract, like other teams have, like the Rams do with Jared Goff at the time, like the Chiefs do with Mahomes, like the Bears did when they signed Allen Robinson under Mitchell Trubisky's rookie contract, that would have all made sense, right? Like, okay, this is the window. Let's go all in now. But they just wasted it. They just wasted the most desirable economic window that any NFL team could possibly dream or ever imagine. It's insane.
It really is. And again, the deadline is supposed to be tomorrow at 3:00, but we could find out tomorrow close to 3:00 that they've extended the deadline to tag them. And I still think get into a room face to face. I don't know if they've been vaccinated or, you could socially distance across from one of those big conference room tables. RJ, you and I have done a show in one of those conference rooms there at the Star. They're really big tables. You could have multiple conversations at the table. The people at the other end of the room aren't going to hear you. That could happen. They need to just get into the same room and get this thing done.
We thought we were going to be doing that show with TJ Watt, but remind me, Jason, who did we sit down with that day?
Taco Bueno.
Good times indeed.
Hey, we knew that. We knew that. I'll never forget that day. I mean, just all of it. It was like we came up here for taco. All right.
Hey, shout out to the Michigan Wolverines, baby.
Yeah, just another reason to wear khaki pants and do that. So the All-Star game last night, what'd you guys think? Thought it was fantastic. We'll talk about the All-Star game and the Spurs involved in trade rumors as we continue here on the Blitz. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, somebody gets arrested, you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, offer a free shuttle service. Of course, they are discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, up in Dallas, down in Corpus, in the Valley, at RJ's Place, Marble Falls, Kerrville. They're all over. Services nationwide. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. 225-2121 or online, mybestbailbonds.com.
Getting ready for the hangover without the headache. The Saturday Morning Hangover. James Pledger and Jack Thompson. Saturday mornings 9 to 11. 1250 ESPN San Antonio. 94.5 FM. And on the go at ESPNSA.com.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
I love my Charmin Super Mega Golden Rose. Last long, it's TP Gold, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rows in one, lasts forever on my buns. Only Super Mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Changing your oil. We've got what you need. Regular changes are the best way to keep your engine running smooth. We'll help you find the right oil for your make and model and everything to help you finish the job right, like drain pans, filters, and funnels. And we've got more ways to get it all fast, like our next day delivery and our free same-day pickup, in-store or curbside. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
It's time for some straight talk. Tax returns could look a little different this year. So when the big carriers start trying to get you to splurge on the latest nonsense, just tune it out. With Straight Talk Wireless, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for just $199. Plus, get our unlimited plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense. Tune in to Straight Talk Wireless. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com.
During the winter storm, you either had water pipes break or you know someone who did. Jason Minix here for BSG, the company that brings you the best in home security and smart home technology. At BSG, they have a water valve controller that could save you thousands if you have a water leak. We all know that you don't have to have a hard freeze for a pipe to bust and flood your house. It happens every day. The smart valve from BSG goes on your main water line, and if it detects any leaks, it will notify you and turn off the water. The smart valve shuts down leaks before they turn into floods. Stay ahead of water waste and high bills. Monitor your water usage and pipes right from your phone. Talk about smart home technology from a company you can trust and the peace of mind your home is protected when you're not home. BSG of Texas, making smart home automation simple. Call 210-877-1222 or learn more at bsgtexas.com/radio.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drive-bys is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
What'd you guys think of the All-Star game last night? It's the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. On air drums is RJ Ochoa. Air guitar, James Pledger. I'm Jason Minix. Rob Thompson is off all week. Going to have a little fun. You know, you think about the All-Star game last night, and there were so many mixed feelings going into it. Should they have the All-Star game? Should they not have the All-Star game? I am glad that they did. I originally, RJ, was thinking, if they don't have it, no big deal. I don't care. I am glad that we had the All-Star game last night. I pretty much loved everything about what we saw yesterday, having the skills competition and three-point shootout on the same day. We'll bitch about the slam dunk contest because it's become an annual thing to do, kind of like next week, where do you find True TV? But they do got to do something with the slam dunk contest. But overall, I thought it was a fantastic night of basketball, and I appreciate the players that were very vocal about not wanting to go, LeBron, showing up and giving us some minutes. He didn't play a lot last night, but overall, I mean, we were entertained, and man, the way Dame ended that thing, it was fantastic.
I suppose. I mean, I'm happy that you enjoyed it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's all that matters. As long as I'm happy.
I mean, like, how enjoyable was it? Like, if it was a dinner, what was the meal? If it was a dinner,
you know what?
It was like an oven baked pizza, Jason.
No, it was way more than a DiGiorno's. I mean, and again, if you want to go frozen pizza, it certainly wasn't the Totino's. It might have been. I don't know. I mean, I'd say that was a good rack of ribs on the smoker. I mean.
Oh my gosh! What an insult to racks of ribs.
Oh, dude! I mean, why do you hate RJ? I don't know. What do you guys think? 656 ESPN 656-3776. Good All-Star game or a waste of your time? I didn't leave that game going, well, that sucked.
I flipped it off at halftime. Like I'd seen enough, and I like again. To me, the more like I truly don't care who wins, and I don't care who wins MVP. This never happens to us, but unless it's one of my players on my like actual NBA team, right? Because then it's cool, right? Then it's like all this mattered.
Well, who's your NBA team this week?
Well, so I was telling Pledge over the weekend, my 2K team in my career is the Chicago Bulls. So again, shout out to Zach LaVine and everything, but that was not going to happen. But I love Giannis, and like it's cool that he won MVP. But other than that, like I mean, the more intriguing things are even the skills challenge, and the 3-point contest was the highlight of the night. The dunk contest was awesome.
The dunk contest was not awesome.
Sorry,
it was not awesome.
But even then, the dunk contest like had more like intrigue than the actual game. Like it's cool seeing these dudes like do amazing, things with basketball. But I mean, it's still like it's like watching like I love I don't want to besmirch Friends. It's like an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond that I think used to like be on TNT all the time anyway. You know what I mean? Like it's just something that's on. That's all it is. No real plot.
I mean, at least we didn't go with How I Met Your Mother. But I mean, again, I look at it for what it is. I was entertained by it, and was it great basketball? No. Was it entertaining? Were there some things in that basketball game that you wish you could see a little bit more? Sure. I was glad they went. The reality is sure. all the money that they raised for the HBC, they could have just written a check. They didn't have to play the game. And you could debate whether it was smart of them to play the game or not. But from a television standpoint, and I haven't looked at the ratings yet. I haven't seen what the ratings were, but I'm going to guess from a TV watching standpoint, it probably did a pretty good number because at least there was enough going on to hold your interest and entertain you. You dipped out at halftime and didn't come back. At no point did my wife say, okay, what's on the DVR or what's on Netflix or let's watch Coming to America 2 again just to see if it's any better the second time. I mean, there was none of that. I mean, now granted, when it was all over, we did watch the Meghan Prince Harry Oprah interview thing on the DVR, but after the game was over, like even so for even my wife, now granted, she's sitting over there on the couch playing Candy Crush. So I don't know how much she was actually paying attention, but the reality is, you didn't get the dreaded what else is on, which there are some games that does happen. I thought it was good. I love the 3-point contest is my new favorite part of the weekend. The slam dunk contest, they've got to figure out a way to fix it.
I agree with you. I mean, we've had this conversation for several years in a row now. 100%. I have not seen Coming to America, but I'm just going to assume that, in fact, it's not even like the oven baked pizza. Like the second time I ever made one of those, I accidentally left the cardboard underneath the pizza. You know what I'm talking about? Like when I threw it in the oven. And so when I went to cut it with the pizza cutter, I was like, "How the hell is this so tough? Like, what's wrong with it?" But like that's what Coming to America is.
It is. I mean, we'll get into it in a minute, but my God, you're brutal, man.
Well, so like,
wait. So you put the cardboard in the oven and it didn't catch fire?
No, but like again, like you know how it comes like some of them it's just like on a piece of cardboard they like wrap like the plastic around it. So I just ripped the plastic off and didn't like think about it and just put it in like that.
Was this while you were a student at Texas A&M? I mean, you're setting yourself up for all the Aggie jokes that are coming your way at RJ Ochoa.
I don't recall, but while I was, I definitely microwaved a styrofoam bowl. That's a whole different story. But anyway, so like the All-Star game and really the All-Star weekend outside of the 3-point contest now is just like Coming to America in that it's purely at this point a play on nostalgia. Like that's all it is for us, right? Like all it is like, man, the All-Star game back in my day used to be awesome. Like the slam dunk contest used to be sick. The uniform, even talking, the uniforms were awful last night. Like they were terrible. Nothing about it was like if somebody gave you an All-Star jersey from last night, would you ever wear it?
No. I mean, if it was given to me from a player and it had an autograph, it'd go in a frame and up on the wall. But I mean, I've got this long-standing rule about teams that wear yellow pants, and there was just way too much. There was just way too much yellow going on last night.
Well, if you remember, the All-Star game was supposed to be in Indiana, and those were kind of playing up the Pacers uniform and colors and honoring the fact that the All-Star game was supposed to be in Indiana.
Don't bring logic into this.
No, but
even
within that logic, that logic, why couldn't they be changed? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because they were already ordered. I mean, look, you put the order in a year ago. I mean, this is what it's going to be. All right, let's move it to Atlanta. But you know what? Let's go with the blue and yellow look. I mean, we've got it. I mean, look, coming up, the Spurs made an announcement today about bringing fans back on Friday. And one of the things, everybody in attendance is going to get 2 T-shirts.
And they're sick.
But they say one T-shirt's for you and one's to give to somebody. No, it's you ordered a whole bunch of T-shirts when you thought you were going to have a full building. Now there's only going to be a handful of people. Everybody gets 2 T-shirts, man. We already ordered them.
When was the last time you enjoyed an All-Star, either Saturday night or the game?
Well, I enjoyed last night's game. I really did. It wasn't the best basketball. It wasn't. There were some guys off. And I think I enjoyed it knowing that those guys did not want to be there. Those guys, to a man, did not want to go to Atlanta and pull this game off. Yet they did. And when the lights came on, they performed. They showed that professionalism, and I appreciated that. And maybe that's why I enjoyed last night's All-Star game a little bit more than I have other All-Star games, because I know those guys did not have their typical All-Star weekend that you would normally get. And a lot of them voiced that they did not want to go there. Dame, who was incredible last night, had said weeks ago, look, I don't want to go. I've got a newborn. I think he's got 2 brand new babies. But if they tell me I got to go, I'm going to show up and I'm going to go to work. And that's what they did last night. So from a fan perspective, I appreciated that. They made a made-for-TV event, and the performers came in and they performed.
Look, I don't even need the game. I'm being honest. I don't need the game. Come up with some cool, play horse. Like, remember when all this started? When we had televised horse?
Yeah, I don't need to see that again. Don't even tell me you thought that was awesome. That was not awesome. That was
the best portions of All-Star things, or like Pro Bowl things or whatever, is the not game. Like the home run derby is the best part of the MLB All-Star game. The old skills challenge in the NFL. The Saturday night festivities. Like 100% focus on that.
100% agree. I appreciated what we saw last night as a fan of the game. Watching those guys, I know the target score ended up being 170. I thought Team LeBron had a chance to get 240 in that game if they didn't miss so many shots. Maybe watching Zion blow dunk after dunk, I was entertained by that. It's like watching a golfer. What was it, Kevin Na, that went plus 8 at the Valero Texas Open a couple of years ago. Sometimes 16. Plus 16. Yeah, I know it was. I mean. There's times where you just enjoy watching a pro just not get it. But again, the little man alley-oops that we were seeing, I enjoyed last night. I was entertained by it. And now we get to start the second half of the season. And as we get ready to start the second half of the season, we've got more trade rumors involving the San Antonio Spurs. One I'm pretty interested in. We'll talk about it as we continue here on the Blitz. Most of us don't think about our brakes until we need to think about our brakes. Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about newbrakes.com. They're a mobile brake shop. They will come to you to fix your brakes. They will come to your office. They will come to your house, wherever you're going to be. No interruption to your life. You continue doing what it is you do, and your brakes are getting fixed. That's what they do. And they only fix brakes. They provide convenient and affordable brake repairs without the normal upsell sales you're going to get at a traditional shop once your car is on the lift. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. And at New Brakes, they use premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Go read all their great 5-star reviews. We all like things to be easy and convenient, and New Brakes has done that with brake repair. nubrakes.com is the website. Go there, schedule your appointment, mention my name or ESPN San Antonio. You're going to save 10% at nubrakes.com, nubrakes.com.
Hoops and Hype, the post-up with Brendan Medina and Jack Thompson, a basketball anthology. The culture from the court to kicks for the discerning fan. The post-up, Fridays at 7 after the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hello, I'm Dr. Torres, founder of the Institute for Functional Health here in the heart of San Antonio. Has the healthcare model of the past century let you down? This story sounds all too familiar. You see doctor after doctor, each one runs a few labs, prescribes a new medication, and invites you back in a few months for prescription refills, likely without a game plan. You're stuck in this endless cycle, while quite frankly, you don't feel much better than you did when you first started. Sure, your labs may improve. Your doctor may say everything looks normal, but you know better. You don't feel any better. This is exactly why I invite you to visit us here at the Institute for Functional Health, where we have reinvented patient care and are proud to invite you to the future of integrated modern medicine. We offer primary care for when you're sick or need prescription refills. But more importantly, our entire team focuses on finding the root cause of your symptoms and getting you off of your medications. So if you are tired of masking symptoms and are ready to get to the root cause of your problems, call us for a free consultation. 468-1891. 468-1891.
Professional arena football is back in San Antonio. The San Antonio Gunslingers of the American Arena League kicks off their inaugural season this Saturday, March 13th, against the North Texas Bulls. San Antonio Gunslingers football at the San Antonio Rose Palace, just off I-10 on Burning Stage Road. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at sanantoniogunslingers.com. Be a part of the action this Saturday for the Gunslingers' first game. Get your tickets now at sanantoniogunslingers.com or check them out on Facebook.
It's time for some straight talk. Your tax return could look different this year, but you're still going to hear a lot of noise about how to spend it. So when the big carriers tell you to splurge on the latest nonsense, just tune it out. With Straight Talk, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for just $199. Plus, get the $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense and tune in to Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Geico knows there are many reasons why you ride. From the exciting adventure of the daily commute to the peace of mind that Geico always has your back with 24/7 access to claim service and legendary customer service. But Pamela Mund had one reason in particular.
My skin is extremely averse to most fabrics, except for the soft, buttery feeling of leather. Thankfully, I found my clan of leather lovers in the biking community. It's been life-changing.
Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
You know, it's always strange when you hear these Spurs and trade rumors because that's not the norm for us, but they're not normal days for the San Antonio Spurs. It is the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson on vacation. I'm Jason Minix, RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com in for Rob. You also know RJ is the original Rock the Mic champion, host of the Saturday Morning Hangover. He joins us all the time. And we know you can talk a lot of Spurs. And you've been around San Antonio enough to realize that when you hear Spurs trade rumors, a lot of times you go, well, that's BS. But there's one today in the Ringer that might have some legs because it's the kind of guy that Pop loves, man, a 7-foot European guy. And when you think about Nikolai Vucevic, who's a two-time All-Star with the Orlando Magic, who, by the way, first game back at home after the All-Star break is Spurs and Orlando. That could make things a little bit easier. I know the Spurs start Wednesday at Dallas, but Friday coming home, first home game with fans, it will be against Orlando. So for Spurs fans, if he's still on Orlando's team, you might want to cheer extra loud every time he touches the ball. Give him that good San Antonio welcome. But according to the Ringer, the Heat, Spurs, Hornets, and Celtics all have significant interest in the Magic Center. Now, I think it'd be a great addition, him and Yak, but you got to give something up. Buy LaMarcus in your expiring deal. I would include Lonnie Walker in a pick, and I think we've got ourselves a deal that Orlando would be happy with and the Spurs would be happy with. And again, when you talk trades, you can't just give them a bag of chips. You've got to give them something in return. What do you guys think? What would you give up? 656-ESPN, 656-3776, or on Twitter at RJ Ochoa. Tweet at me at Jason Minix.
I'm down. Sign me up. I mean, again, like my overall disposition here is like nothing against this particular idea. Super down with it. I'm just down to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I'm bored as a Spurs fan. That's part of the reality here.
Bored as a Spurs fan. See, and I disagree with that because I think the Spurs team is well ahead of schedule. I thought this year was going to be a disaster. I like what I'm seeing from the young guys. I appreciate that Pop is allowing the young guys to go out there, make mistakes. And I'm at the point, and I didn't think I would get there this year, where I'm pissed off at bad losses. Like that Oklahoma City loss that we've been sitting on for a week, or that bad loss at Minnesota, getting blown out by 112 to Golden State. Because this team has shown they're better than we thought they were going to be.
Sure.
And they're a fun team to watch. And I thought they'd be entertaining, just not very good, that they wouldn't get a lot of wins. I didn't think playoffs were even a potential, honestly speaking, at the beginning of the year. I didn't think the Spurs were going to try because, I thought we'd see a lot more of the older guys. But seeing LaMarcus move to the bench, clear sign that I think Pop realizes we're ahead of schedule. We could be a playoff team, not only a playoff team, but make a little noise. They're not a championship team, don't get me wrong, but let's start building for the future. And one of those is getting a solid big. And you look at this Vucevic and you go, he feels like something that Pop would chase. I know they scouted him around the draft. I don't know if they've gone after him for trades before or not. I don't know that any of us ever will, but you got to give up a valuable piece to get a player like that. And I think that valuable piece is Lonnie Walker in an expiring LaMarcus contract.
So to be clear here, I'm not bored with the current status in terms of success by the Spurs. I don't think anybody is. But I'm just bored. This is like an annual rite of passage, right? Like, well, it's the time of year where we get our hopes up and then nothing happens. Like that's the process I'm bored with. To me, this is kind of like you're not a big cereal guy, right? You don't eat a lot of cereal.
No.
Right. So like to me, I love a good bowl of call it what you want. Frosted Flakes, Corn Flakes, any kind of general flakes. I like to throw some bananas and strawberries in there, right? Like that's kind of what this has become. Like I think we thought it was going to be this general brand flaky type season. We got the bananas, got the strawberries. You're doing the butter knife thing, getting all the meat slices in there, and it's good. Now my problem here where I'm bored is everyone else is coming onto the couch with me to watch the movie and they've got Cinnamon Toast Crunch and they've got, Corn Pops and they've got, Captain Crunch and things with marshmallows in it.
Nobody's got Cocoa Puffs or Count Chocolates and you got your chocolate and your marshmallows in there. It's only available around Halloween.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just I know that what I'm eating is fine and good for me. But I'm just bored. It's hard to constantly sit here and watch all the marshmallow and sugary things sit on the couch with me and not be able to have it.
I think those with that much fiber in their diet are typically bored because you're sitting around too much. So you look at this and you sit there and you look at Vooch and you try to make a move. Jeff Garcia from Spurs Zone has said that the Spurs have chased after him before. They scouted him when he was coming out of the draft out of USC in 2011. I think this is one of the trade rumors that actually does have some legs.
So, Jason, I apologize here, but we have some massive breaking news. Pledge, can you hit the 3-note sting, please? please. All right.
Here we go. ESPN San Antonio. Breaking news.
I first saw it. I'll give credit where credit is due. Courtesy of DallasCowboys.com's Mickey Spagnuolo tweeting out just in from the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys agreed to terms on a new contract with quarterback Dak Prescott on Monday. Further information and details will be released at a formal press announcement on Wednesday. Screw your franchise tag deadline. QB1 is here to stay.
Let's go. All right. So we don't know the details yet, but we are going to find out. It's all over Twitter. It is big. It is happening. They met face-to-face. I bet you this comes down to a face-to-face meeting, RJ Ochoa. They get the deal done. Dak Prescott signed long-term. Your reaction, 656-ESPN, 656-3776. We'll talk about it as we continue here on The Blitz.
You follow your friends on Facebook and Twitter, so shouldn't you follow us? After all, I thought we were friends, aren't we? Never get left out. Follow us on Facebook at ESPN San Antonio, Twitter at ESPN_SA, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Do you feel stuck? Are you living in pain? I'm Rob Thompson here for Arasti. Arasti providers, well, they're all around San Antonio, and they are absolutely perfect at taking care of those soft tissue injuries, those sprains and strains that just slow everybody down. Now, if you're dealing with significant pain, call an Arasti provider and get yourself out. They have found over the years through a variety of studies how quickly they can get guys back in the game. 3.2 visits. If you're dealing with a pulled hamstring or a strained muscle, if you got the frozen shoulder or the bad back or anything in between, call Arasti for a non-invasive treatment that'll get you back in the game in a remarkably short amount of time. I'm not talking about over-the-counter pain medications to dull the pain. I'm talking about the pain literally stopping. When you call an Arasti provider, you're not going to need a referral to do so. Make your appointment, and when you walk in, they're going to accept most insurance policies. When you call an Arasti provider, you know you're going to get taken care of quickly. Arasti all around town. Do not let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call Arasti today, and I'm sure you'll thank me later.
These days, more and more women are asking for fancy-shaped diamonds. Ovals, princess cuts, cushion cuts, ashers, marquise, heart-shaped, pear-shaped, emerald cuts. All very popular this year. And no one has more of these special shapes than Diamonds Direct. In fact, we've just increased our selection of these beautiful stones with sizes ranging from a half carat up to 10 carats. And while other jewelers will try to tell you these fancy shapes cost more, the fact is, as you'll learn at Diamonds Direct, fancy-shaped diamonds should always cost up to 20% less than the same size round diamond. Plus, in many cases, a fancy-shaped diamond will have a larger face and appear bigger than a round diamond with the same carat weight. So, with a fancy-shaped diamond, you can get a bigger look for a lower price and have a diamond that stands out from the crowd. Come to Diamonds Direct and get the facts about fancy-shaped diamonds, see the largest selection, and get the guaranteed best price. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Official jeweler of the Dallas Cowboys at the shops at La Cantera.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire.
Injuries happen. If you twist, pull, bump, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries and concussion baseline testing. Telemedicine services are available through OrthoConnect. If you're hurting, go to the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
That meeting's starting at 4. Can I get those projections?
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Karen, do these numbers look right to you?
Like at Mia's research firm. To hit client deadlines, she needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
With no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, banking with Capital One is like the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. And with our top-rated app, you can bank anytime, anywhere, making Capital One an even easier decision.
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
New consumer accounts only. Approval required. Terms apply. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
It's going to be a big day on Wednesday as Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys have a press conference talking about the new contract that he has signed. It is the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, ESPNSA.com. The right man to fill in for a vacationing Rob Thompson is RJ Ochoa from Blogging the Boys. And his head right now is 1,000-0. He's got to get stuff on his website. And RJ, if you need to dip out and actually do some work, I get it. Because we're going to take some phone calls at 656-ESPN, 656-3776. The franchise tag deadline was set for tomorrow at 3 o'clock, although that was in flux because there's some talk that the NFL could actually move it until they actually get a cap number set. The reality is we were coming up on a deadline. The old narrative, deadlines make deals. And while there was a third tag available, I think we all agree that they were never going to give him a third tag at $54 million. They were going to get a deal done. We talked earlier in this show, and you can check the audio vault at ESPNSA.com, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, where I talked about just getting a room and figure out what the issues are and go from there. And if the Cowboys are able to do that, then you could essentially get a deal done. And by all accounts, the Cowboys have done that. I don't know what the numbers are. We haven't heard any of the numbers yet. Nobody has been able to provide any. And quite frankly, I don't give a damn what the numbers are. Whatever they are, the Cowboys did the right thing by getting a deal done and now able to have a real plan going into the offseason. And I think that is a major part of what we're seeing from the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys and Dak Prescott have a deal. We don't know the specifics. I see Ed Werder's on ESPN right now, probably just talking about how we are. At the very least, we know they have a deal. They've set a press conference. I'm surprised they're actually waiting until Wednesday, which makes me wonder, you could assemble the media tomorrow, but they might just have to finalize all the paperwork and get it all approved by the league, because by all accounts, this has been such a long negotiation. It has been, there are so much details, and to hear Jerry and Steven talk about how hard things were, I'm sure all the lawyers have to go over everything, and so maybe that's why they are going to have it on Wednesday. 656-ESPN, 656-3776. Dak Prescott gets his deal. According to ESPN, it's a 4-year, $160 million deal with the Dallas Cowboys. So by that account, Jerry gave in on a year. Now, that said, the fact that he played last year on the tag still makes it a 5-year deal for Dak Prescott. He made 30 last year, so a new 4-year 160 puts this right at 191 total over the 5 years that we've been talking about, if my math is correct. It's a great day to be Dak Prescott. You guys happy about this? Are you guys not happy about this? A friend of mine, Brian Carson, just texted and said, well, that sucks. He's a hater to begin with. I'm ecstatic because Dak Prescott has his deal with the Dallas Cowboys. Now they can go win some Super Bowls. Your phone calls as we continue here on the Blitz, reacting to the news that Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys have a long-term deal done. We're back after this on 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Show us your meat. On the grill. You could win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market if you do. Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday. If you have meat on your grill that you're proud of, take a picture of it and upload it to ESPNSA.com and you could win.
You gotta sear them first. It locks in the flavor.
1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. ESPNSA.com.
During the winter storm, you either had water pipes break or you know someone who did. Jason Minix here for BSG, the company that brings you the best in home security and smart home technology. At BSG, they have a water valve controller that could save you thousands if you have a water leak. And we all know that you don't have to have a hard freeze for a pipe to bust and flood your house. It happens every day. The smart valve from BSG goes on your main water line, and if it detects any leaks, it will notify you and turn off the water. The smart valve shuts down leaks before they turn into floods. Stay ahead of water waste and high bills. Monitor your water usage and pipes right from your phone. Talk about smart home technology from a company you can trust and the peace of mind your home is protected when you're not home. BSG of Texas, making smart home automation simple. Call 210-877-1222 or learn more at bsgtexas.com/radio.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Businesses that run like clockwork establish routines they trust. That's why over 1 million companies rely on Cintas. We'll help you protect employees and customers with essential safety supplies, inspect your fire protection systems and devices, hygienically launder your uniforms, and keep you well-stocked with the leading hand sanitizers and disinfecting wipes. Learn how Cintas can help you open your doors with confidence.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
You run a business and you need better wireless. 3 words, no more compromise. With the T-Mobile Business Advantage, you get the largest 5G network, award-winning customer support, and insanely great value. No trade-offs. Right now, get up to 90 days of unlimited free on business plans when you switch via bill credits. Stop in to find out more. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Complete port within 60 days. Customers over 50 gigabytes per month have lower speeds during congestion. Video at 480p unlimited on our network. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices coverage and plan details.
Your home for everything Cowboys.
Touchdown, Cowboys!
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. KCDC San Antonio. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
On the eve of the tag deadline, Dak Prescott gets his franchise quarterback deal with the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about it here on The Blitz. Rob Thompson is on vacation. I'm Jason Minix. RJ Ochoa, the perfect guy to be sitting in for Rob today. RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com joins us. RJ, I can see you on our Facebook video feed right now. You got the sweat building up on your forehead, the rush to get some stuff online at bloggingtheboys.com and talk on the radio with us here as we react to the deal. The numbers are starting to be reported, a little variances between like an Adam Schefter and a Jory Epstein, but basically the Cowboys are getting a 4-year contract, $160 million, a record $126 million guaranteed. First 3 years, average $42 million per. No trade clause, right? No tag clause. So, but by all accounts, it's kind of what we were talking about earlier today in the entire neighborhood of what they ended up getting done.
So I appreciate everybody's forgiveness. As you mentioned, I am the big boss man over at Blogging the Boys. So we've got a lot going on here. We've got information. If anybody wants to see these numbers, see these figures, and send them to your friends, just head to bloggingtheboys.com. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm sure Jason will retweet the tweet as well. Just looking at this, trying to digest it, Dak Prescott, kind of bullet point here, $40 million a year, $126 million guaranteed. No trade clause, no tag clause. I mean, he won. There is no doubt. And when you consider like factor this in, he got $126 million guaranteed, and they gave him $31.4 million this past season. Collectively, the Cowboys gave Dak Prescott $157 million total guaranteed for 5 years. If you want to look at it that way, I mean, they really did. And he netted a no trade clause, a no tag clause. I mean, he completely won. There's zero doubt about it.
I totally agree, and to a degree, I would say that Jerry, in some ways, is winning as well, because he ended up at 4 years. If you take the tag year that he played on last year at $31 million, it's 5 years. We talked about it with Jane Slater a week ago. If he was asking for 3 years this year and Jerry was asking for 5, you can meet in the middle at 4. And when you look at 126 guaranteed, and you take the 31 this year, and even if he gets to the max value of 164 on this, that's close to $200 million that he will have made over the 5-year period, which is what Jerry wants. Jerry got the years that he wanted, but yeah, there is no doubt that Dak Prescott is the big winner today. 656 ESPN, 656 ESPN, if you want to talk about it. And again, your reaction on Twitter, and a buddy of mine texted me, that's a whole lot of money for a quarterback who doesn't win in the postseason.
I'm sure this is a great friend of yours, so excuse me. That's a really dumb, antiquated opinion.
He is very dumb, and I tell him that all the time when he talks bad about my quarterback.
Let's consider that Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback. He now has an offensive coordinator in place for the next 3 years in Kellen Moore. Got his own extension. He has a wide receiver group. It'll be fascinating to see how the Dallas Cowboys handle the Michael Gallup situation this offseason. Maybe they view him as a trade piece. Maybe they don't. But he has CeeDee Lamb. He has Amari Cooper. He has 2 interesting tight ends. Obviously, one is in a contract season in Dalton Schultz, but has Blake Jarwin, who's been extended himself. The Dallas Cowboys are going to win a Super Bowl. They are going to win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. And that's why you make this deal. You make this deal to win a Super Bowl. And they just did. They just locked down one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
They did. And again, I think what you see with a deal like this at a deadline, and again, as we try to digest this and the numbers are, quite frankly, not surprising, right? I mean, I would have been surprised if the guarantee was closer to $115 million. We talked about this earlier with the guaranteed money he was going to make just on the franchise tags. We knew the neighborhood in which they were shopping. We knew what those dollars were. I think the biggest things in here, the numbers, again, aren't surprising. You're at about $42 million a year over the first 3 years of the deal. So that was, what did we talk earlier in this very show, between 41 and 43. So, we're in that neighborhood. 126 guaranteed. That doesn't really surprise me, although that becomes a record. And when you're next, that is what you get. No tag. So at the end of this contract, they can't tag him again. And he's got the no trade clause. I'm curious if that 4th year is a voidable year, because what Schefter's tweet talks about, the first 3 years average $42 million per. I wonder if that's a voidable year so that he could still start renegotiating when that new TV money kicks in and everything is about to explode for the players.
Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting timeline, and in that sense, I mean, it worked out. And I don't want to focus on. Look, this is a win. I said Dak wins. We all win, right? We have all won. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be the best version of themselves. They don't have to worry about this. And you know what is awesome? Dak is one of the most charismatic, electrifying, well-liked people around the NFL. Free agency starts in a week. And the Cowboys don't have this situation hanging over their head. If they're able to attract would-be whatever, I mean, there is no longer this question of what are you going to do? They don't have to go through the franchise tag drama. I wrote like 3 different things ahead of time that are now going in the trash bin that I'm totally fine with, because we don't have to use them, which is super awesome. But I applaud them for this. Took on the Dallas Cowboys part. This took the swallowing of some pride. It really did, because they had to. We agree here, generally speaking, that Dak won, and they had to acknowledge that. They really did. They had to kind of eat it publicly, and they're going to for a long time, because tweet are, people are kind of circle this point a lot, over the next few months.
You look at this and you talk about, obviously 126 million. Dak is the clear winner. The Cowboys have their quarterback locked up, and deadlines make deals. So when I look at there clearly was a little give and take on both sides because we're at 4 years as opposed to 3, right? So, I mean, I think Dak probably gave in some there. The dollars, it cost the Cowboys and Jerry Jones a whole lot of money, but I don't think that is a surprise. If they were going to get a deal done, we knew we were going to look at numbers about $150 million, right? I mean, that's no surprise, especially if you add in the 31 that he got paid last year playing on the tag. And that's where I say Jerry, in his plan, if he got the tag done and played a year on the tag and ends up with a 4-year deal, he still has his quarterback under contract for 5 years dating back to last year. If this would have been a 3-year deal, it would be a total slam dunk win for Dak Prescott. That's where I say the give and take is. Obviously, Dak was willing to give on one of those years to have numbers that look like this. This is a massive, massive contract. But I look at the getting the no trade and the you can't ever tag me again piece. Those are pretty big bargaining chips that Jerry and Steven had to cave on, because we know they like to make sure that they've got those available to them for obvious reasons. The no trade clause might not have been a big deal a week ago, but you hear the Russell Wilson rumors out there, and all of a sudden, if you're Dak, you want that no trade clause in there. You want to know that, you put a football field in your backyard. It's going to be hard to sell that house to begin with, but not many people are looking for a pool and a football field. So, I mean, the resale value of his house. I mean, there's all those things that you have to factor in. But I think, as we continue on, looking what this means for the Dallas Cowboys, you get the biggest piece of the puzzle taken care of with a Dak Prescott long-term deal. The fact that they did it before announcing any cuts. There's been a lot of players cut for salary cap reasons over the last couple of days. The bloodletting in the NFL has begun, and the Cowboys are going to have to restructure some deals to get this all in there. What are the other dominoes to fall now that you've got the Dak Prescott deal in place?
Well, I tell you what, Russell Wilson's pretty pissed off because his biggest point of leverage just went away. But I mean, you've got to you have a top 10 pick now, right? And I think that we are seeing like a team paying its quarterback is a really smart decision no matter what. And we talked a little while ago on the 5 o'clock hour about the Cowboys making a mistake, taking a running back with a top 5 pick. This is the highest that they've drafted since then. You've got to be smart about this. And now that you have this, and granted, I mean, maybe this would have provided a different point of leverage, but if Trey Lance, or pick one, it won't be Zach Wilson, but whatever. If Trey Lance falls to 10, that's what you need. You need this ideal situation when it comes to the NFL draft where you're sitting there at 10 and you have a number of options between Rashawn Slater and Penei Sewell and Caleb Farley and Patrick Surtain, maybe J.C. Horn, and that quarterback, because you want somebody to come up and give you a bunch of picks to trade down. And what's more is I know the Cowboys just delved out, $160 million on Dak Prescott, but you think that Dan Quinn is the answer? You think he's going to be better than Mike Nolan? Well, you can't give him a bunch of Jalen Smiths. I mean, that's the reality. If you want to win, and this is why it was so pressing. And I do think that this was a point of maybe not leverage, but a point to emphasize when it came to getting the Dak deal done. You play in the sorriest division in the NFL, right? In the NFC East. I mean, the Eagles are a mess. The Giants, congrats with Daniel Jones. And maybe Washington gets a different quarterback this offseason period. But you play in the weaker conference because the AFC has Buffalo, Kansas City, Baltimore, Tennessee, Indianapolis if Carson Wentz is great, Cleveland, Pittsburgh if they're back, Baltimore. Meanwhile, the NFC, you've got Tampa Bay, Green Bay, and who? I mean, who? Your path to the Super Bowl is as short as it has ever been. And so I hate being, win now, whatever, but you have to go all in on the idea of getting things done with this guy. This is what it's about right now. He's about to enter his prime.
You get your quarterback taken care of. You've got the 10th pick in the draft. Do you trade it? I still say you get a left tackle because I don't know if you can count on Tyron Smith. We'll talk more about it in your phone calls as we continue. 656-ESPN, 656-3776 on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. RJ Ochoa is on Twitter at RJ Ochoa. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Pledge loves Cowboy tweets at I am Pledger. You can reach James Pledger there. Cowboys get a deal done with Dak Prescott, an historic day. that we'll continue talking about, Mr. Valdez. I see your comment there. We'll talk about that as we continue here on the Blitz. You know, if you're having issues at the house with your plumbing, your heating, your AC, there is one company to call, and that is Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899, 651-5899. They're full service, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. At Quarter Moon, no commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions. They have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. I know how great they are firsthand. I've used them for years, especially at the old house on the maintenance plan for my AC unit. They are a fantastic company, 24/7, 365. You're having issues at the house? Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online, quartermoonplumbing.com.
Game nights, the Blitz goes silver and black.
This is DeJounte Murray. It's Game Night San Antonio.
Game Night San Antonio, brought to you by the Mellow Mushroom. 30 minutes before every game night on the Blitz.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
When you post your first job for free on LinkedIn Jobs, we search a network of over 700 million professionals so you can find the quality candidate you need quickly. Marketing wizards? Found them.
Software engineers?
Found.
That project manager I could never seem to hire?
And found. How? Well, LinkedIn Jobs matches your roles with candidates with the right skills and experience and puts your jobs in front of them. So, looking for an easier way to make that next hire? You found it. Post your first job for free and get started at linkedin.com/entertainment. That's linkedin.com/entertainment. Terms and conditions apply.
Order! Continue, Ms. Garner.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
I object to your objection. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase.
Order! Please read Counselor's last statement.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase.
I'll allow it.
No further questions, Your Honor. Well, just one. What's in your wallet?
Capital One Bank USA, N.A.
Most of us don't think about our brakes until we need to think about our brakes. Jason Minix here for NewBrakes.com, NUBrakes.com. They are a mobile brake shop. They will come to you to fix your brakes. We all like things to be easy and convenient, and New Brakes has done that with brake repair. They will come to your home or office or wherever you are. Busy work schedule? No problem. Relaxing at the house? No worries. New Brakes comes to you, and they will repair your brakes while you do whatever it is you do. At New Brakes, they only fix brakes. New Brakes provides convenient and affordable brake repairs without the normal upsells traditional repair shops love to give you once your car is up on the lift. Most repairs are done in less than an hour. New Brakes uses premium brake parts, and they back all repairs with a 24-month, 24,000-mile warranty. Go read all the 5-star reviews. If your brakes are squeaking or grinding, go to NewBrakes.com and schedule your repair. Save 10% when you mention my name or ESPN. NewBrakes.com. That's NUBrakes.com.
The healthiest patients in San Antonio are at the Institute for Functional Health. I'm Dr. Torres, and we help folks get off medications, feel better, look better, and become undeniably healthy. You've struggled with the same health concerns for a long time. It's frustrating, depressing, and nothing has worked. The good news is, at the Institute for Functional Health, we know everyone is unique, and medicine is never a one-size-fits-all solution. That's why we order specific labs to uncover the root cause of your symptoms. Your blood gives us all the answers, and we develop a doctor-supervised game plan that is specifically designed for you. Over the last decade, we have helped thousands of individuals look and feel years younger. All of us at the Institute for Functional Health are proud to say we have the healthiest patients in San Antonio, and we will help you become part of that club. See for yourself at iffhealth.com and call to schedule your complimentary consultation at 468-1891. 468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. 468-1891.
Dak Prescott has agreed to a 4-year, $160 million deal. $126 million guaranteed. It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, ESPNSA.com. Maybe you're watching on Facebook Live where you can see RJ Ochoa sweating literally as he tries to bang out some content at bloggingtheboys.com. RJ in for a vacationing Rob Thompson. I'm Jason Minix, reacting to the Dak Prescott signing news with you on the Kia Bossa Bacon phone line, 656-ESPN, 656-3776, or on Twitter at RJ Ochoa. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. A lot of new nickels into the pockets of Dak Prescott. You know, he is such a good guy. You know, a lot of that money will end up in charities. And we're trying to drive to end hunger here at ESPN San Antonio. Us, along with Stevens Roofing, has come together in our Drive to End Hunger campaign. With the pandemic still in full swing, many families struggling financially, we have come together to support the San Antonio Food Bank to help set the table for 58,000 individuals a week. Just to join us and give what you can at ESPNSA.com through March 19th. Every dollar counts. The ESPN San Antonio's and Stephen Roofing's Drive to End Hunger is brought to you in part by Quarter Heating and Air Conditioning, Roof Fix, and Airtron Heating and Air Conditioning. Again, there at ESPNSA.com. You know, there are some advantages for the Cowboys to get this deal done. Obviously, they get their quarterback in play. But, Pledge, you just sent me a tweet from Todd Archer from ESPN, and this underscores what you could put into the category as a win for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys by getting Dak Prescott done today. While the Cowboys are giving up $126 million guaranteed this year with a smaller salary cap, the Cowboys were going to be on the hook for probably having to restructure a lot of deals. And then, you know, Dak playing on the tag was going to count $37.7 million against the cap. But with his new contract, his cap number goes from $37.7 to $22.5. That is a significant savings on a cap that's going to be between $180 and $185. So maybe they don't have to restructure as many deals as they thought they were going to have, just because signing this deal saves them quite a bit of cap money just on quarterback Dak Prescott.
So, Jason, appreciate you. If anybody ever doubts Jason being a good friend, they just need to watch this episode of The Blitz, because he has been really working. I appreciate it. I want to read you a tweet. This is from friend of the show, friend of ours at BTB as well, Jane Slater. I can confirm reports. This is not from today. I can confirm reports that QB Dak Prescott has, in fact, turned down $30 million a year offer and is instead seeking $40 million a year, per source informed. This tweet was August 12th, 2019. And Jane, even though this wasn't her like want or proclamation, got roasted for this. No way is he going to get $40 million a year. No way, no way, no way. Here we sit. Monday, March 8th, 2021, Dak Prescott is a $40 million a year man.
You know, and I remember when Jane Slater did that. Again, I have the utmost respect and confidence in her sources and her reporting. She is damn good at what she does. And, you know, that's one of the reasons why we have her on, or I retweet her often. I retweet those that I trust. And she got it right. Her sources back then, it took a long time to get there. But, you know, ultimately, Dak Prescott got what he was looking for. Todd France got what he was looking for. But there was some give and take on both sides. It's a 4-year deal. You look at the record, $126 million guaranteed money is, you know, that's an incredible number. But you knew if he was going to turn down 110, well, what was it going to take? And you said earlier in the show, RJ, it's got to be a number that's going to blow you away. Now, I don't know what it's like to have somebody offer me $110 million and say no. $126 million in complete guaranteed money. Does it feel like it's blowing you away? It's not that much more money, but again, it really is. I'm curious. I saw Don Harris tweet. I wonder what the ankle clause is going to look like. You go back to Gerald McCoy, had that clause in his contract, got hurt and voided the whole thing. I wonder how much medical was a part of this deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair, and I think, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a talented enough mind to wonder, this properly, but the injury changed the course of this discussion, right? The injury changed the trajectory of things. You could make the argument that the injury expedited Dak getting this payday. That without the injury, maybe he doesn't. You could make the argument that it hindered it. Maybe he would have made more, whatever the case may be. And so, I mean, by all measurements, the ankle is fine for Dak, and I also believe the Dallas Cowboys wouldn't have committed $126 million, effectively $150 million over that to Dak Prescott if they did not feel that was the case. I'm not worried about the ankle myself. I don't know about you.
Well, I'm not, because I mean all the doctor reports say they are what they are. But I mean the deal could be worth up to $164 million. A $66 million signing bonus, so $75 million for year one creates an NFL record, or some numbers I'm seeing on the TV screen right now as you try to break it all down. I mean, you talk about breaking the bank. What a day to be Dak Prescott. Now, the question is, and you think about Dak and where he's been, what we've seen from Dak as a quarterback, as a leader, as a person, this ain't going to change Dak Prescott's work habits one bit. When you look at it like that, the pressure of, all right, now you've got the contract, you've got to go do something. We saw what Jalen Smith did after he got his contract, and everybody's ready to toss him 1 year into that deal. Not that they weren't ready to toss him, prior to. But I don't think that the pressure will get to Dak because there's going to be a lot of pressure that comes with this to go win and go win now. But you've got the team lined up, ready to compete. And I know last year was what it was with all the injuries on the offensive line, but help out the defense and get an offensive lineman to help out Tyron Smith. Let's go to the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Gabe, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
What's going on, Jason, RJ? How y'all doing today, sir?
Good.
Doing well.
I'm super stoked about it. I know that, some people are, like you guys are talking about it. It's a lot of money, but I'm just really happy that we got them locked up at least for a couple of years. Average to good quarterback is better than no quarterback, like as you see with, a lot of the bottom 8 to 10 teams of the league. So just really happy. And I got off of work. I heard you guys, I didn't know about it. Didn't see any updates on my phone or anything like that. Heard you guys when I got in the car, and I'm just really happy about it.
Well, I mean, breaking news is breaking news, and a story like that is going to shift everything. Appreciate you tuning us in as soon as you got in the car, Gabe. Appreciate the phone call. And you look at that, I mean, I think if you're a Cowboy fan, and, judging by Twitter reaction, it's all over the place. A lot of money for an adequate quarterback, all that. None of that matters. None of that really matters what you think of Dak Prescott as far as, is he a good quarterback or is he worth it? It's, does Jerry Jones think that he's worth it? And I've maintained, dude offered him $110 million a year. I never had any question on whether or not Jerry Jones believed in Dak Prescott. The big takeaway is, if you're a Cowboy player in that locker room, you've got your quarterback. You've been watching your quarterback go through contract hell for 2 years. And so if you're another player, if they're willing to do that to Dak Prescott, what are they willing to do to me? Mari got his deal. Zeke got his deal. Jalen got his deal. But your leader was still without a deal. Now, you understand the business side of things. There was a number that Dak was waiting to get, and he ultimately appears to have gotten it. But I think it just the future, the immediate future of this Dallas Cowboys franchise, knowing Dak is locked up to a contract like this, the direction now is very, very clear of where the Cowboys are going. And if you're another player, you know you want to be on that train.
Yeah, I think, it's so hard to use the Jalen or the Zeke or the Lyle deals against, this philosophy or whatever. But because you're happy for them, right? You like every player should get paid. And so I don't think for a second Dak Prescott was upset or pissed off or whatever, but it just didn't make sense. I mean, it didn't. Dak is not only the most important player within the Dallas Cowboys organization, he is arguably the best. I mean, the only player who I would argue is better at their position than Dak Prescott is on the Cowboys is Zach Martin. That's the only one.
I would agree
current
with
day
that.
Tyron Smith isn't. And so, I mean, this is such a hard topic to talk about, but I mean, he has that it factor, right? Like that's not measurable. That's not quantifiable, but he does. And I mean, this like, I think we should also celebrate, and I know you're not like dismissing this, but this dude is an incredible story. I mean, in everything he's been through, 4th round pick, and obviously within the last year, the loss of his brother, getting not exposed, but having one of the national pundits try to capitalize off of his vulnerability, sharing his mental health. And I mean, it's really great when I love, and I think you agree with this, when your favorite player on your favorite team loves the team as much as you do, right? Like that was part of the magic of like the Spurs Big Three. Is like it meant something to be part of the Spurs to them. And so that's not the case with everybody. Some players, it's a business, and that's fine. But Dak not only loves being a part of the Cowboys, but he loves his team. He loves all the players. I mean, like, he is a dream of a favorite player. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that it's awesome. Like, it's an awesome thing that like he's not going anywhere.
I will imagine tonight when you're watching Sports Center or the NFL Network or whatever news channel you watch, you're going to see the video of Dak Prescott talking about when he was a kid, he dreamed of being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, right? And you're going to see that video. You talk about a guy meant for this position, and I'll give Dak Prescott a lot of credit for holding out for what he ultimately wanted. Whether I agreed with the advice and everything that he appeared to be getting from Todd France, holding out and turning down the deal last year, for him to ultimately get the deal, and the conversations, the talk about could he get traded, could he play somewhere else, could he leave in free, all of that, none of that really ever made sense, which is why I always felt like a deal would get done. I am surprised it got done today. I didn't think we were going to get to July and not have a deal done, but I did think a deal was going to get done. I'm surprised it's before the deadline, because all the reports have been, while they've been talking, they haven't been overly productive talks. So I am very curious to hear what happened over the weekend or over the last couple of days that got to the point of, well, they're having talks but not making progress to they've got this record deal done. Again, I'll go back to when we had Jane Slater on the show last week. What she was telling us then is, at least they're having conversations. And last year at this point, they weren't. But I can say that I'm surprised that we're talking about a deal today.
So last thing, I know we need to go to break. I wanted to go back to the Jane Slater tweet I started the segment with from August 12th, 2019, where she confirmed that Dak turned down an offer worth $30 million a year and was seeking $40 million a year. And there was a lot of, blow against that, not against Jane, but against the idea Dak's not worth 40, that's not worth 40, whatever. He bet on himself, right? He entered that season on final year of his rookie deal. He started off flawless, didn't have an incomplete pass in the first 3 games, his third quarters, and played on the franchise tag. He was unafraid of it. Kirk Cousins, every media appearance he did where he was asked about this, he would say that he has always told Dak Prescott that the franchise tag can be your friend. When you consider that he got $40 million a year, like just living off of that figure, versus $30 million a year on a 4-year contract, that, no pun intended here, is $40 million more dollars that Dak Prescott and his future generations will have because he bet on and believed in himself. And that's a really incredible thing. And look, I do think that Kirk Cousins was a pioneer in kind of how he handled this in Washington, and that led to a breakup, right? And I think part of the reason it did was because, to be frank, friend of ESPN San Antonio, Kirk Cousins wasn't good enough to kind of command the blinking on behalf of the franchise. But Dak just is a trailblazer here. He really is. He just created a path. If you are good enough and you are bold enough, you can go significantly change your life. I mean, all of these figures are life-changing, but Dak Prescott did that to the 10th degree, and I think that's a really I want that guy. That's the guy who I want playing quarterback for my team when it gets tough, when it's the final 2 minutes and you need a touchdown. I want the dude who is unafraid because he bet, and he did, like, betting implies like he gambled it away. He counted cards. He knew what the house had, and he won. He outplayed the house, and the house always wins. And so it really is impressive.
It really is, because again, you go from about 30 million a year to say I want 40, and you go, well, 10 million, you're making 30. Does again, you go back to what Jane Slater had a year ago, and again, another part for Jerry, according to an Adam Schefter tweet. The deal is actually 6 years. That voids to 4 years. That helps with that cap number tremendously. Remember, we talked earlier in the show, could it be voidable years in there? There's got to be ways to get this deal done. Dak Prescott signed for the long term. Good deal for the Cowboys. A great deal for Dak Prescott. A lot of people reacting on Twitter. At Crazy Coach Pop says, at Jason Minix, at RJ Ochoa, just like y'all talked about today, it ended up being a great deal for Dallas. Valerie Romo says, yes, pay Dak. Estebeat says on Twitter, then he'll want out like Deshaun when he can't win in a year. There's always going to be one of them. 656 ESPN, 656-3776. During the winter storm, you either had water pipes break or someone who did. Jason Minix here for my friends over at BSG, the company that brings you the best in home security and smart home technology. At BSG, they have a water valve controller that could save you thousands if you have a water leak. The smart valve from BSG goes on your main water line. If it detects any leaks, it will turn off your water and then notify you on your smartphone app. The smart valve shuts down leaks before they turn into floods, so you can stay ahead of water waste and high bills. Monitor water usage and pipes right from your phone. You talk about smart home technology from a company you can trust, and the peace of mind your home is protected, especially if you're not home. You never want to come home to a flood. And we all know that you don't have to have freezing temperatures for a pipe to bust and flood your house. It happens every day. Protect yourself by calling BSG at 210-877-1222. BSG of Texas, making smart home automation simple. Again, the phone number 210-877-1222, or go to the website bsgtexas.com/radio. That's bsgtexas.com/radio.
What's better than winning some free cash? We're giving away $1 million to anyone who can pick a perfect bracket. The ESPN San Antonio Basketball Mayhem. Details and registration at espnsa.com.
Did you know just the simple act of dressing for work can make you more productive? According to a recent study by the Wall Street Journal, getting dressed for work each morning can even improve your performance. Untucked shirts are the easy way to look sharp instantly, and they're designed to be worn untucked, so you'll stay comfortable all day long. So for your next Zoom call, lose the t-shirt and grab an untucked shirt instead. It'll also be your go-to when we start returning to all the things we've been missing. Try one today at any Untucked store or at untucked.com. Untucked shirts, designed to be worn untucked.
Making popcorn for movie night?
Whoa, who are you?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless. What if every time you tried a new streaming service, you had to buy a new TV?
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, some wireless companies do that when you switch, make you buy a new phone.
Right.
But TracFone Wireless lets you keep your phone and your number and your network, and gives you unlimited talk and text starting at $20 a month.
Seriously, who are you?
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Oh, you're burning it.
Oh, no.
See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents.
And
Doug.
Breathe out
and repeat after me. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Your bird is eating my candles.
Your bird is eating my candles.
No, seriously, he's making a mess.
No, seriously, he's...
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed is the only bed that effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. Don't miss our weekend special. Save up to $500 on select Sleep Number 360 Smart Beds. Plus, free premium delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Professional arena football is back in San Antonio. The San Antonio Gunslingers of the American Arena League kicks off their inaugural season this Saturday, March 13th, against the North Texas Bulls. San Antonio Gunslingers football at the San Antonio Rose Palace, just off I-10 on Burning State Road. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at sanantoniogunslingers.com. Be a part of the action this Saturday for the Gunslingers' first game. Get your tickets now at sanantoniogunslingers.com or check them out on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. For a limited time, you can get a queen-size premium MyPillow for the lowest price ever. Regularly $69.98, now only $29.98. You can adjust MyPillow's patented fill so you have the exact support you need regardless of your sleep position. It comes with a 10-year warranty. It's washable and dryable so it stays healthy, and it's 100% made in the USA. I'm also going to give you deep discounts on all my MyPillow products, including my Giza Dream bed sheets, my mattress toppers, bath towels, and so much more. That's $29.98 for a queen-size premium MyPillow, the lowest price ever, and deep discounts on all my MyPillow products.
Go to mypillow.com and click on the radio listeners square and use promo code SKY, S-K-Y, for this amazing special, or call 800-635-1825 and use promo code SKY.
Dak Prescott bets on himself, wins in a big way. Dak Prescott has agreed to a new deal with the Dallas Cowboys. It is just below what Patrick Mahomes is getting. 4 years, $160 million, up to maybe $164. He'll join Patrick Mahomes as the only dudes making more than $40 million a year on a contract, and his $126 guaranteed is second highest to Mahomes' $141. Mahomes is on a 10-year deal. This one is about 6 with the last 2 years voidable, so really a 4-year deal. And you think about if they would have got a deal done in 2019, what it would be like now. Dak Prescott certainly bet on himself, and the Cowboys are paying for it. Now he's got to go win a Super Bowl. We'll talk about it with you. 656-ESPN, 656-3776 on the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. If I'm Dak Prescott, man, I'm firing up the Traeger tonight and getting myself one hell of a steak on there. Then he could take a picture of it, upload it at ESPNSA.com for a chance to win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. We do Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday at 6. Take a picture of what's on your grill, and you could win that $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market. So ESPNSA.com, go there, upload your photo. RJ Ochoa from bloggingtheboys.com in for a vacationing Rob Thompson. I'm Jason Minix. RJ, I know you're going 90-0 trying to do double duty because I know you're getting stuff on the website at the same time as trying to do a talk show and at the same time answering your friends' texts, and then your boss says, hey, what's going on here? Because in all reality, I'm surprised that we got a deal done today. I'm not surprised that they've got it done. Hell, we've got promos running all over ESPN San Antonio with me saying I think a deal gets done. Pledge has already killed him, so you're not going to hear those anymore. But I really did think a deal would get done, but I thought he would get the tag and that we would have some sort of long-term deal done around draft time to buy themselves the extra time. I am surprised that a deal got done on the 8th day of March.
I mean, yeah, I'm honestly surprised that they beat the franchise tag deadline, and we'll see if it ends up getting extended, right? I mean, that really doesn't matter at this point for the Cowboys. But I am surprised at that. I'm particularly surprised because Justin Simmons, the Denver Broncos safety, also a Todd France client, got his second tag last Friday from the Broncos. And so, I mean, all signs pointed to this. And that's why, I mean, look, you can term it as Dak Prescott winning, but this took some serious swallowing of pride and a little bit of meeting in the middle there at the 6-year, 2 voidable years on Dak's end. But I mean, still, I mean, the reality, that's the other thing. Like, I mean, saying he won is fine, but the other thing is, like, this was inevitable. This was going to have to happen. Right now, today, the value is $40 million per year, $126 million guaranteed. But this offseason, Jason, Lamar Jackson, who's got an MVP on his mantle, eligible for a new deal. Josh Allen's eligible for a new deal. Baker Mayfield, all 3 of those quarterbacks won playoff games for the first times in their careers this past season. You think their teams aren't, really excited to get them done? And maybe that's actually a different case. Maybe they wait because the COVID cap is different and they have the luxury of waiting because they're only entering their 4th years. But still, I mean, that the value, I know if you're listening right now and you don't believe in Dak Prescott, this will go down. I mean, we talk about $30 million. 3 years ago, Matt Ryan became the first quarterback to hit $30 million a year. And look, look where we are 3 years later. Like, so just live out the life of this contract. You know what I'm saying? In 3 years, this will look like a bargain relative to the NFL salary cap space.
And with that said, knowing that Jerry caved, and he had to cave, and I know it's going to get couched that Jerry caved. I don't necessarily know that he did. He knew what the numbers were going to be. It was going to be, is he going to sign him or not sign him? Jerry's going to tell you on Wednesday he got his man and he wanted him all along, and he couldn't be happier to write that check, especially if he goes and gets him a Lombardi trophy. We knew Jerry wasn't going to let Dak Prescott walk and start over with another quarterback, knowing that he wants another Super Bowl trophy while he is alive. And you don't do that starting over with a new quarterback. So but yeah, Jerry caved. I am curious though, is with the no trade clause and the you can't tag me again clause, and you got the voidable years, is there a no holdout clause? Is there a no, we're not going to renegotiate your deal until this thing is over clause? I wonder what the Cowboys put in to protect themselves, to make sure that when some of those other deals get done, when Russell Wilson, who is very unhappy apparently in Seattle until he gets a new contract done, and I'm not going to be surprised if he reworks his contract to mend the fences there with Pete Carroll. Right now you look at Dak has the biggest, and he can say that, and until the next one. I wonder if the Cowboys have some protections in there to make sure Dak doesn't come back to the negotiating table prematurely.
Yeah, I mean, I would figure that would be the case. And I think, a lot of people have said, the term good faith, right? Negotiate in good faith, operate in good faith, whatever. And the reality is that good faith was compromised, right? When they made him play out his NFL life twice, like 2 years in a row. And so, I mean, that wouldn't be good faith if you were Dak Prescott. And so I do think that look, I don't have any doubt. I know you don't either, that Dak Prescott wants to be part of the Dallas Cowboys. He wants to be the Joneses quarterback. He, respects and admires the Jones family and the ownership group within the Dallas Cowboys. But if you want to say there was like some awkward tension, right, at the very least over the last 2 years, that is squashed. And now you're back. Like, you really are back to like the good old days of 2016 and 17 when everything was naive and perfect and innocent, right? Because there's no more question. Dak's locked up. Amari's locked up. Zeke, if you believe in him, is locked up. Your offensive line is locked up, but still, on a different sort of plane. CeeDee Lamb is locked up. The only dude who's a little bit out in the cold, Blake Jarwin's locked up. The only dude who's a little bit out in the cold right now is Michael Gallup entering his contract year. And
again, I mean, you wonder if he becomes tradable, if they're able to get him done. They obviously all their offseason needs are still in play. the biggest difference that the Cowboys were able to accomplish today, along with getting Dak Prescott signed, is saving about $15 million and change off of the cap. And we know the cap is going to be lower this year. They haven't set the number, but it's expected to be between 180 and 185. With Dak Prescott's cap number going from 37.7 to 22.5, that either means you don't have to restructure somebody, or you've got a little bit of money in free agency to go play with.
I mean, they do have money to play with now. I mean, his cap value or his cap hit this year is only $22 million approximately. I mean, so yeah, and that's the thing. That's a win for the Cowboys, right?
Yes.
That in itself is a win. So don't waste it. Like in a vacuum for the 2021 season, you just saved $16 million, right? Because you were going to have him on your books for $38 million if you had placed the franchise tag on him. So you just freed up $16 million of salary cap space that you had already allotted, right? Because they definitely, allotted for the tag value, given that they got this close to it. So you know what you got to do, Cowboys? You got to take that $16 million. I know you're not a fan of The Office, Jason, but pledges. It's the episode of The Office. We've got the surplus. We've got to spend that money. It's either going to be on office chairs or a new copy printer, a new safety, a defensive tackle, another end opposite of DeMarcus Lawrence. Go spin that cheddar, or else all of this was for naught.
Again, I don't necessarily know that I want to say it's all for naught. They're going to spend that money. The fact that they're able to go spend that money, and maybe they don't have to go and restructure a bad Tyron Smith deal yet again. There's still decisions to be made, and I was a little surprised coming up on the day before the tag deadline that we haven't heard of the Cowboys restructuring deals when we've seen a number of players get released today because of the cap. I mean, when you start looking around and you see Carlos Dunlap gets let go, Gabe Jackson, Alex Smith the other day, Kyle Rudolph, you're seeing all these guys in salary cap moves. And we haven't seen any from the Cowboys yet, knowing that they were going to have to pay Dak Prescott $37.7 on the cap. Now they don't. Now they just opened up $16 million.
So to that point, we assume that the NFL's franchise tag deadline, which now has nothing to do with the Dallas Cowboys, baby, is not going to be tomorrow after all. Just quickly, why is that, Jason? That you understand?
Because they haven't set what the salary cap is going to be yet. They don't have a real hard number yet.
And the reason they don't know what the salary cap is going to be is because they're still waiting on the TV contracts to come in, right? These new ones that they demanded 100% raise and increase over, whatever. An interesting tweet from very well-respected agent throughout the NFL, David Cantor. Yahoo's Charles Robinson had a thread about all this, and David Cantor responded and said, strong point here is, what does Jerry know about the TV deals and money coming? He's obviously intimately involved, and this deal reflects his knowledge and how big the new TV contract will be. I think that's a great and really astute point because, Jerry is aware. We all believe that the Cowboys butchered this, but Jerry is still on God mode when it comes to the NFL's television contract. So he knows what is coming down the bend. He knows that shoe that's going to drop, and he budgeted this with respect to that. So to your point of, well, how come we didn't see any restructures or things like that? I think it's because Jerry knows he's going to get some cap space somewhere else.
And again, I mean, and that's very true. I mean, obviously he's in on those committees. More on the Dak Prescott signing as we cruise to the finish line at 7:00. So you can go back to publishing something at bloggingtheboys.com with all the info there. Injuries do happen. Speaking of Dak, if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. From a minor sprain to a compound fracture, TSAOG Orthopedics has got you covered. Not all injuries require surgery. Dr. David Espinosa treats all non-operative orthopedic injuries, and he does concussion baseline testing. They do have telemedicine services available through OrthoConnect. There's no reason for you to be in pain. If you're hurting, visit the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online, TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
Show us your meat.
On the grill.
Take a picture and upload it to ESPNSA.com, and you could win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market if you do. Grilling with the Blitz every Thursday.
Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors that stand out in the Me Too snack aisle. Sea salt and cracked black pepper, pineapple ancho chili, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to higher flavor levels with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Visit your local H-E-B and southernrecipesmallbatch.com to see the power of the rind.
If you drive a car, truck, SUV, or vehicle of any kind, you need Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. That's right. With the free Get Upside gas app, you can get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas. Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code HOOD for a 50-cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 75 cents a gallon on your next fill up. That's code HOOD.
Switch to T-Mobile for Business and get up to 90 days of service free via virtual rebate on your business plan. You get a great deal, the largest 5G network, and first-class benefits like Microsoft 365 on us. It's better for business and only with T-Mobile for Business. Limited time offer. Stop in-store for details. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Virtual Express MasterCard within 8 weeks of receipt of valid submission. Complete port within 60 days. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices, coverage, and plan details.
O'Reilly. This is Jesse's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
As a nurse, not making it to work was not an option. But driving through the snow with my wiper blades struggling, I just didn't feel safe. So I pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts, and before I knew it, an employee was offering to install the wiper blades on my car. I got to stay out of the snow for a moment, and I still made it to work on time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You decided to upgrade your outdoor deck. So you ordered the essentials: a power washer, a set of patio chairs, and a shiny new grill. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential deck addition, a bird feeder. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
Get ready for real all year long at SeaWorld San Antonio. Real adventure with heart-pounding coasters. Real connection with unique animals. And real fun with incredible events and live entertainment throughout the year. See how we're making your visit safer with limited capacity and more at SeaWorld.com. Buy a SeaWorld pass, get an Aquatica pass free. Hurry, offer ends March 21st. Restrictions apply.
Blitz 1250 ESPN San Antonio 94.5 FM ESPNSA.com. I'm Jason Minix. RJ Ochoa from logintheboys.com in for a vacationing Rob Thompson. James Pledger producing as always. You know, it's interesting when you think about the Dak Prescott signing. And again, surprised it happened today. Not surprised that he ultimately got the deal done. I just saw somebody tweeting about Jerry having to go get gas station wine and Prosper. I think tonight they're celebrating with some of the good expensive stuff. He's a billionaire. He could afford it. But there's this tweet from Des Bryant that I think is interesting. He said, the Dak situation started to remind me whenever we let DeMarco walk in 15. Me personally, I knew our chances of having a chance to win the Super Bowl was gone. It wasn't the catch. It was DeMarco leaving the team, which made me feel hopeless. Smart decision at Dallas Cowboys. You know, the goal here is to win a Super Bowl, and the Cowboys have their quarterback in place, which is the most important piece. But you realize with that offense, with the Zeke, with the wide receivers that they have, the offensive line, even though it isn't what it was, this offense, when healthy, is capable, when you look around the NFC, of getting to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys are one of the best teams in the NFC with a healthy Dak Prescott. They're the heavy favorites to win the NFC East. There's all the reason to be excited. I mean, this was a very, very, very good day to be a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Well, and then you look at it and you talk about being a happy Dak Prescott. You bet on yourself. For 2 years, you've kind of gone through the contract ringer. You get the deal done that you want, which is the $126 million, all of it, all the guaranteed money. And then you look how long this contract is and you do a little math and you go, all right, well, this thing is up. You're 31. You're getting another one of these. And then when you look at a guy like Tom Brady or Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers, these guys playing, deep into their 30s, it's a great day for Dak Prescott. And even his brother is probably going to be a little happier on Twitter now.
Yeah, I agree. That's what happened to Matthew Stafford, and you look where he's at now. I mean, it's exciting to consider what his future holds. I'm pumped to talk about it again tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll be back tomorrow, maybe a little bit less distracted over the final hour and a half or so, which happens. I think the best news for you today, RJ Ochoa, is that we did get Dak Prescott signed. You did not have to talk about Coming to America 2. And I don't know that we'll put that one on the table for tomorrow either, although we might. I mean, there's still some people that haven't watched it yet. But yeah, Dak Prescott has a new deal. RJ, I know it's going to be a busy night for you, man. Appreciate you sitting in. And
of course.
You okay? You're dancing around like you got to go pee. Go take care of things. Pledge, we'll be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock on the Blitz to talk more about Dak Prescott's new deal.
The latest on your Silver and Black.
It is a testament that a 72-year-old Doc Brown-looking head coach is communicating on a very regular basis with the likes of Lonnie and Keldon, these young guys. And yet, Pop is as pure, as clear, and as approachable as he ever has been with now yet another generation of great basketball players.
It is his ability to connect with these guys, to be more than just a father figure.
The Blitz, weekdays 4 to 7, 12